Yeah, we are live on weekend. Again, somewhere in the future.
Somewhere in the future.
Sounds the same as past. Good past, but still, I recognize it at least from the 90s. So yeah, we were talking about the streaming drama, and I went on a couple of them last night. I think Machines, Flows.
Yeah, I fell asleep watching, not because it was because I was just like really out of it, but I fell asleep while Machines was on. I woke up once and I saw you on Flow States, but there was no the panel was completely full. Cause I thought about getting up and trying to jump on, but the panel was completely full, and it was like, and you weren't even talking. Like, no, it was just like it was like iPhi arguing with somebody, and I don't know. It was just I didn't have anything to add to it, so I just went
Yeah,
back to
that
sleep.
does sound familiar.
Yeah, or
So.
maybe that was Machine Stream. I don't know. I don't know which one it was, but yeah, it was like it was pretty. It was pretty. I saw part of like them waiting. You guys waiting for the debate to start with
Oh yeah, with
Andrew,
Andrew, the one that
Andrew
kept
and
getting
Adam Green.
canceled. I mean
Yeah,
rescheduled. Yeah.
and then I don't know. I didn't really have a lot to add to it, especially since the stream was supposed to be like focused on the debate and stuff like that. I didn't have anything to add to it, so I was really out of it anyway. I was I hadn't that test thing yesterday like really messed up my vertigo was like 10 times worse last night than it has been. Like it's a little bit better now,
Oh,
but like yeah, it really like the ice water thing. It really messed me up a little bit. Like, but I mean, they said it would though. They told me it was going to. Like that was the idea of it though. It was like they were trying to provoke like an extreme vertigo response so that they could they could um they could actually like the instruments they were using could actually like sense like the imbalance thing or whatever, and that's what happened. So
that sounds brutal. So were they able to find out anything, or they're still running tests?
it just basically gave them the direction to go from there, like to the what like the basic cause of like where the vertigo is coming from. Um, which means it's primarily based on my left ear, not my right ear. That's where the issue was. Like, so there's something with my inner left ear, and like
Oh, so your
now
right ear is fine?
there's no response in my right ear. But they said that in itself is kind of like bad. That means like there's like my right ear is kind of diminished to a point. Like my
Oh,
right ear, like my hearing's kind of bad in my right ear, I guess. But I can still hear. I mean, I guess it's happened slowly enough that I've gotten used to it. But I already knew my hearing was diminished because I had so many busted eardrums over the years. So it wasn't really a big surprise there. But yeah, I can still hear. I'm not deaf, but my hearing isn't as good as it would be for most people, I guess. But I can't tell the difference because I don't know what other people hear like. So
yeah. Mine's gone down over the years too.
so yeah, and then anyway, yeah, but the left ear provoked like an extreme response, like that a really significant response on that side. So that gives them like whenever I have to go in for a CAT scan on the 20th, and then I'm seeing a specialist on the 21st that will be able to go into further detail on like the left ear thing and figure out see if there's any kind of treatment or whatever. So it's a good start. It's actually like I said, it was a productive doctor's visit as opposed to all the others I've been to that were just like, well, we don't know, like maybe it's this or that, and they
Well,
didn't like,
good.
but this was actually like it's clinically shown now like that there is something going on in my ears and my head. So it's not like it's not something that they can't, nobody can say like, oh, this is in your head or whatever. Like they can't try to say that anymore. So it was a positive experience, at least for me. At least made me feel like made me feel a bit little less crazy. There's part of me that was like, after going through so many doctors and everything like that, starting to feel like, maybe it's not real, maybe it is in my head kind of thing. Even though I feel it, and I mean, I'm not doing that on purpose, but like, what I mean? It's like it starts to make you question your own reality after a while. Whenever you go to so many doctors and they're like, "Oh, we don't know what's wrong." I mean, are you sure you really have vertigo? Kind of thing. That's the way they act. They act Like, well, are you sure it's real, kind of thing? Like, I'm like,
To me,
yeah,
the big tip off was when you were breaking ribs and losing teeth, and that shit's like that's not in your
yeah.
head stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess, but I guess in their opinion, from their perspective, I guess, you can, I guess, people can have you can have delusions or something to some degree. You can like convince yourself of something enough, or that, that
To the
you
point
don't
where
even
you
know it's.
break your teeth.
I don't know. That's where they acted anyway. But now they can't do that anymore. So now there's actually there's a proof of a physiological response to like one ear is definitely has a imbalance in it. So.
I mean, they
Yeah,
can just watch some of these streams. We've seen you pass out on the stream 2 or 3 times.
right.
I've seen it happen live.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where on one hand, it's like it seems it's kind of like Chuck was saying something about the other day. It's like on one hand he was glad that he didn't have to go through all the BS to get his disability. The other hand, it was like kind of depressing because it was like, yeah, your disability is so bad that there's not even a question of it. And I think it's similar to that in that sense of it's good because I have a diagnosis and I know that there's something real there, and I don't have to feel crazy or anything anymore. But at the same time, it's like, well, there's really something wrong with me, So, but I'm happy about it. I'm happy. I'm happy to have a path forward. I'm happy to have an actual. It just took a long time to actually get to the right doctor to do the right test. So, yeah, come see, come
So
saw.
don't give up hope in the system.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not. I never
Everything's
really.
fine.
If I'd given up hope in doctors or whatever, I would have stopped going. So I've been going to doctors and everything for the reason that I didn't give up. So why am I so washed out? God, the lights aren't even on that strong. I don't know why it's like so. I have them turned down as much as possible, but it's like my whole face looks like it's just like a white sheet.
I know. I couldn't. Rant made his tier chart square thing, and I don't know what any of the categories are, but I couldn't tell which face was yours because there was one that
I
looked
wasn't
like
on
it
there.
could be you, but it was dressed as some outfit.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I looked at it pretty closely. I mean, I don't know. I fell asleep while he was still doing it. He might have added me later, but like at one point, the point I was at on it, he had a lot of like kind of obscure like people that don't even like make content. That aren't even like hosting or anything on there. But yeah, I don't. I mean, but that doesn't really surprise me. People even they come to the show. I mean, I don't mind being the co-host. I don't mind being the sidekick. It doesn't bother me at all. So I didn't really bother. I put one comment in the I did drop a comment in there. I was like, and where would I show up on your little chart rant? And he never responded to me. So
Uh,
I don't really care though. It was a cute little chart. Yeah, you were listed under Satanists. So
Under what?
Satanists.
Oh, I thought there was a different cat like agent or something that he had me in. Because I was
Oh,
with
I know.
Speakeasy, but Speakeasy's not a Satanist, as far as I
Okay, I guess
know.
he moved you then. He moved you then because at first
Me and Speakeasy in the same category, whatever. Oh, newcomers or newbies or something. Like the jury was out. We haven't been vetted yet. Which I don't know how that applies to Speakeasy.
I don't either because he's a pretty established guy. But no, like because like I saw like whenever I was on there, whenever I was watching the stream, I don't think you weren't on there yet. I saw you on there later on because I like fell asleep for a little while and woke up and you were there, but then I passed right back out.
Oh.
But it was also like a bunch of like arguing type stuff that it just wasn't any point
Yeah,
in
that's
jumping
how they
onto.
were last night, pretty much.
So but earlier on, whenever he was doing the panel thing, it was like he had you just under a category that just had like a little devil at the top of it.
Who
There was like
did?
a rat. There was a category that
Oh.
just had like a devil face at the top of it,
I
and that
want
was the
my devil
category.
category back.
I don't know. I
How
don't
did I
know.
get moved from there?
I don't know. I guess he was listening to the comment section or something. I
Well, the
don't know.
spirits are misleading him because I definitely belong in the devil category. And there definitely needs to be a devil category with me in it. Speakeasy's welcome to join, but I don't want to give up my devil category.
Well, he better have had me in the
My
fat category.
Satanism is already being challenged from several sides and ends.
But
So I need it.
you have to admit though, even though I understand your frustration with that, coming from the people that are challenging it, they're actually complimenting you because they all want to kill the Satanists. So they're actually saying that Jeff isn't enough of a Satanist for us to want to kill him. So it's
I have
kind
to
of like
worry about.
it's kind of a compliment because they're kind of saying they like you too
I
much
know, like, how much do I
to put
really
you in
want
that
to prove
category.
myself? I
Yeah,
don't feel like I have to
exactly.
prove to anybody, but
I
it
don't think
wouldn't
you
hurt
do.
me to maybe go to a black mass. If anybody knows any Church of Satan people in the area that
Well,
can get me into one of their masses.
I think the thing
Hey,
is that
Arpol,
I think the thing is that they think of Satanist as someone who is a child killing,
the
probably
adrenochrome
probably
drink.
PDF file person
Yeah, they
who
don't. They have this cartoon image of
yeah,
Satanism. Like
yeah, they
like
do.
everybody has cartoon images of everybody else now because of this medium we interact in.
Yeah.
You would think it would be more real on the live streams, but it seems like we're even more cartoonish versions of ourselves on here.
No, I've certainly embraced that. I've gone full character thing. I have an outfit that I wear now. I have my sunglasses, my lighting, my everything. I've just embraced that. I've just decided like fuck it. That's the way everything's going. So just might as well just like lean into it. So I mean I get it. And it kind of there's advantages to I guess which it's really like a mask kind of thing. It's kind of like the same thing
Well, it
you
is
get.
Mardi Gras season, so it's all in the spirit of carnival.
Well, yeah, but there's a spirit of like when you have a mask, like if you're on stage or if you're doing or if you're there was a stupid movie, like a teen movie from a long time ago called what was that movie? The one with Drew Barrymore where she goes undercover as a high school student at this high school or something like that, and like there's a scene in it that always stuck with me where the dude talks about how like whenever he was like playing hockey as a kid, like he was really bad at it, but then one year like his dad or somebody gave him like this like jersey and like this jersey that was like for like some famous like a Wayne Gretzky jersey or something like that, like the putting that jersey on like made him feel like he could be somebody else or something like that. So he actually he started playing more confidently
Hey,
and stuff like that. So like hey Jeff, how's it
Hey,
going, man?
thank God you're
Hey, you're
here.
out
I mean,
there
hi,
in
welcome.
some woods there.
yep,
Oh
yep.
wow, you're outside. Where are you? What are we getting?
I'm in the back or the side part of my property here, just taking a little
Oh,
tour.
cool.
Thought I'd stop in and say what's up, guys.
I love this kind of stuff. Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
What state are you in actually? You don't tell me the
Good
city.
old Kentucky,
What
man.
state? You're in Kentucky too. So
That's
you're out there.
Kentucky.
Yep.
You're there close. You're close to
see
where
if I can.
Chuck is, then, huh? He's in Tennessee, but Tennessee and Kentucky are like the same state to me. So,
They're right
Well, we at
underneath
least have
us. Right.
representatives from each of the states,
yeah.
multiple states.
Oh,
Man,
man, you
this
know
does
what? I
this
might
does my
actually.
spirit so much good.
I need to get a selfie stick. It's weird holding the phone like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
But,
Well, you
looks
can
like
just
you're in the hills.
you can turn the video off and just go on audio if you need to. I mean,
oh no, I kind of want to do the cam. I want to show off, my cute looks in the daylight, man.
yeah, man,
Hey,
it's cool out there. It reminds me of it like that like it's very similar to East Texas. Like a lot of East Texas looks just like that. So I mean I'm very familiar with
yeah.
where my grandparents live on some property that looks like very much like that. So they have a bunch of woods out behind it. It's a little more thick. It's a little more thick with the woods. But I mean I grew up in a lot of areas that look just like that. So I it's very familiar to me.
I bought this place in 2000. Well, it was 2006, 2007. Oh, here we go. And it was kind of it belonged to our family estate, and kind of a long story short, like everybody wanted to tear the house down and whatnot, and nobody really wanted it. So I ended up paying. I had some money saved up, and my dad helped me out of it, and I paid the $50,000. And at the time, I mean, people thought I was crazy. But I'll tell you what, man, if I go on the Zillow and look at the estimate for this property now, I mean, it's crazy how much that Zillow says it's worth. I don't know how accurate it is, but you know, despite kind of living like a bum slacker or whatever most of my life, it's probably the best thing I did was just buy property.
There's the
Am I still
doggies. So
connected?
you're closer to a bunker
Yeah.
in the woods than anybody so far
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
we have
really.
direct
Yeah.
evidence of.
You're actually
gorgeous,
the,
But, you know,
by the way.
the real.
it's I can be downtown, so
Yeah, that's cool.
it's
Yeah,
it's just far
I
away.
wouldn't be able to handle like living actually out in the sticks,
love
like actually
that.
that far out.
North Carolina is one of my favorite
Yeah.
states.
At some point,
This
no,
is
me
the
and my wife
pond I
are,
was trying to fix.
at some point in the future, me and my wife will probably have to move to Colorado because that's where her family is, and she's her family owns property out there, and so like we'll probably have to move there whenever, you know, if her family gets sick or anything like that. So I'm prepared for that. Like, but they don't live in the country; they just live in a suburb. So, but
You know, technically where I'm at is zoned industrial, which poses a lot of problems for anybody who wanted to build a new house on it. So that's why it didn't really have much value. And the house that was on it, like everybody said I should just tear it down or whatever, but I got it livable. I mean, the septic was bad and backed up and had problems, but ever since I've had that taken care of, I really haven't had any trouble in the almost 20 years I've lived here since. I still don't have city utilities, so I have a cistern. And there used to be a working well around here, but I just basically fill it up and filter it myself with treatment pills and charcoal filters. So it's
Oh, wow.
basically gutter water, but you know.
well, that's what my
That's what you
parents
live
have.
off of?
My parents have a well at their house that they're selling right now, and it's very similar to that. Like they have like the whole well filtration system and everything like that, and but the water is fine. I mean I don't. It's not like I don't go on my way to drink it, but it is drinkable. You know, it's
Yeah,
fine for
I
cooking
mean,
and stuff. Especially if you're boiling water or something like that. You know, it's fine. You can just boil it and purify
well,
like
and I'll
that.
tell you what, man, I have because I also do a little bit of hydroponics. So I have a lot of testing stuff to use for like pH levels and parts per million meters and that. I can take a glass of city water, which is, you know, out of the hydrant or out of your tap, and measure it with a parts per million meter, and it'll come locally here. It'll say about 223 parts per million, which is, you know, usually the additives and the fluoride and stuff that they put in it. You expect it to be a little bit, but I can measure my filtered water and it only comes back like 20 parts per million, which, you know, it always depends on what that is in there, but having 20 parts per million of particles within, you know, that measurement is pretty clear. So my drinking water is perfectly safe.
Yeah, I have to say, like the best tasting water I ever had in my whole life, like that it was when I was a kid. Like the city I wasn't born there technically. I was born in another city, but the city I lived in, my parents lived in whenever I was a baby, and like until I was like, I don't know, 8 or so, was Marshall, Texas, and like Marshall, Texas, like that's where my grandparents lived most of my life and stuff like that. And they had their city water. They actually had a water filtration plant there in the city that was really advanced, I guess, for its time. And the water in Marshall tasted amazing all through. And it's like I wish I could still get like that taste of that water because it was so clean and pure. And like they shut down they changed their water filtration system like years back, and it doesn't taste good anymore. But like it just depends on
Look
like
at
how good the
dogs.
filtration is.
They're attacking me.
It's Jeff and his dog. They're happy to see you.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you too, guys. I was watching, man, this morning. I saw you were on Flow State's panel, but that was kind of turning into a funny mess. I was hearing you guys were talking about somebody was making a list of categorizing everybody in the
Oh yeah,
Panaverse.
Rant was. He made some kind of tier chart.
It wasn't really.
Yeah,
It was
I
like a
don't know.
category.
It has like 30 slots or something. And then it has the different streamers in each slot, but we don't know what the slots mean. They're just symbols.
They were explaining some of them earlier on in the stream. Like I can tell you what there was like 12 at first, and like I knew what those ones meant, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think you weren't on the you weren't on the tier list, iPhi. Neither was I. Joe Cool was on there. Joe Cool was on. I can't remember what area.
He was with
what
Hank.
category he was
He
in.
was with the black people, whatever the
Yeah.
black people tier is.
Which was just a hat. Which is a hat was the symbol for that you and that Joe Cool and Hank was under. But I don't know. Apparently it changed a lot over the course of the stream.
I mean, this
so,
is
like,
the mind of Rant.
I went to sleep. So
That guy's a funny guy, man. I listened to him not for long, but I saw him a little bit on Jack Talcott and somebody else. But yeah, I kind of like Rant. I'd like to meet him.
He's the one that Toilet Bowl was so hateful to the other day.
I don't know who Toilet Bowl is.
Oh,
I mean, I think I've seen.
You don't need to.
Count yourself blessed. I don't. It's not even worth.
Yeah, the less
into.
you know about Toilet Bowl, the more blessed you are as a person. Like he's just a
snafu category.
Yeah.
I guess so. He's an ortho bro, but he's the most toxic kind of ortho bro. So
he's just a bully.
Yeah, he's just a bully.
See, look, even iPhi knows. Yeah, that toilet, that would be the one.
Yep.
You know, I think I have an affinity for Tommy, and I know you don't share it.
I don't have a problem with him on other people's on his own channel or other people's.
Yeah, exactly. On his own channel.
I don't want to wrangle with him on mine.
Tommy's one of the more honest people I've seen on the internet as far as just calling people out on their bullshit. Like he literally calls everybody out, and he's on a team of his own. He's like an island man. But as far as entertainment value, he says and does some of the funniest shit. That's one of
the problem. The problem with Tommy isn't the things that he says. It's the way he said. It's the way he goes on the panels and he will talk over everyone until all the focus is on him, until everyone gets angry and like they're all focused. So he will come in and like even if there's
unmitigated spurgery.
There can be a really good conversation happening, and Tommy will show up and make it about himself. Tommy will make it entirely about him, and everybody will just start attacking him because he'll say whatever inflammatory thing, and like I mean it's a thing he does. It's very narcissistic in my opinion. But I mean he's not. I have seen him on panels where he was. I think if he's not drinking or high or whatever it is that he does, I think that he can be a good panel member. It's just but you never know what you're gonna get.
One-trick pony. Exactly, Duff Freak. That's how I feel about him. Oh Lord, we get another voice. How don't ruin your voice for us.
Yeah, I did see whenever you logged off of the panel last night and you said your voice was hurting you, man. How are you doing?
Joe Cool. Does this sound like a healthy voice?
You definitely sound a little sick, man. Don't overdo it.
This morning I couldn't talk for 30 minutes and I just now got this much voice back just now.
You almost I almost have a little crack of sympathy for you.
I have actual sympathy for you. I know exactly how you feel, and I have actual sympathy for you.
Because you know how much I love to talk, and I hate fucking typing. So this is like torture.
It's almost hard to watch.
I hate typing.
No. I know, man. I really do feel for you. I have genuine empathy for you.
Hey Chris, can I send you telepathic messages and then you speak for me?
I'll try, but I don't. I've never been telepathic before, so I don't know that if it's going to work all of a sudden. I don't know why I would.
I'll just beam it directly into your brain, and you translate for me. All right.
Man, I should have took more shrooms.
I'll do my best, but I cannot guarantee accuracy.
Okay, so since I've got 10 seconds of voice, I'll give it to you. So Neurojax is pining for the Orthodox fjords. And
how do you know this?
Because he told me. I've tried to talk to him about Christianity. We can't agree on that either. But he's got lots of mental health problems that I don't have time to address.
Well, you have a crazy extreme version of Christianity.
No, I don't. I have the most simple, purest form.
With bunker in the woods and militia guards.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with politics. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I tried to talk to him about religion. He can't coherently have a conversation with me, which is why we're not doing the talk show.
Tell it to him? Why
I tried talking to him. He kicked me off his server.
Well, Nero, if you're out there, this is what he wants you to know.
Satan. He kicked me off his server.
Oh,
Off of his
I'm
Discord?
Sorry.
I thought
he's on
this was the guy that you were gonna like abscond with and start your own show. Like
Exactly.
your own show.
Mental
This
health
was your hero.
problems, Satan.
Who is this now?
Mental
I'm sorry.
health problems. Neurotic Jack, the freak nailed it. That's
He seems
exactly
a lot better this
what I'm
week
saying
than-
now. I
than
call
last
him
week.
Neurotic Jack because he
He's
has
on
very
the panel
severe
yesterday,
mental
right?
health issues.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Neurojack-
usually
Neurojack-
on, and he can come on if he wants. He knows that. But I would
All he
rather
does
talk face
is
to face.
drive by debating. He won't stay and talk
Yeah.
about anything. He just drops in and says, "Hey guys, here's a bunch of philosophy words," and then he bails before you can
I thought
respond.
that was just his
But that's-
connection.
I know.
because-
What did you
that's
What
because
did
he
you
has a
see in
family.
him that made you want to collaborate?
He's the only person that listened and agreed to 90% of what I was saying.
Well, what's his face last night? Was it Tarek? Who was it that was? No, it was Sasquatch that was
Dude,
almost
Sasquatch.
about to
No,
join you
no,
in the
no.
bunker.
No,
You
no,
almost
no, no.
had one.
No. Sasquatch was drunk and he was reading off a list of like
You need
debate
to take
terms.
the W's where you can find them.
No, I was vibing with Flo to see if I want to hang out with him more often. That was the purpose of that visit. So, but anyways, Neurojack and me are done. I don't have time for severe mental illness. So like I can handle your mental illness, Jeff, but I can't handle his level. He's just got way too much, demons in the attic. So, I think
I got mental illness, man.
At first I thought he was just like super busy and like he just doesn't have time to like spend quality time debating and arguing people. And I understood that. And I was like, I feel you, bro. Real life always interrupts. You got family and work and whatever and shit. But like when I would get him to sit down for like 5 minutes and talk, it's just so incoherent. Like I don't know what he's talking about or what he's saying. And you saw on your stream, Jeff. He was accusing me of being like a Jewish puppet or something like that because I was talking.
But everybody's a Jewish puppet. I don't know.
know.
I'm a Jew. I'm probably one too. I don't know anybody who's not a Jewish puppet.
But that's what I'm saying. I clearly explained I'm not a Jewish puppet. He knows that for a fact. He knows that for scientific fact that I'm not a Jewish puppet. But he can't escape the voices in his head that are.
I guess I've known that about him long enough. It doesn't bother me anymore, I guess.
Anyways, he can't escape the voices in his head that are telling him that iPhi is one of them. He's one of the lizard people. Don't trust him or whatever. And so I can't help.
Oh, he's something. So what did you say or do to flip that in him?
You were on the stream, Jeff. We were just talking about I was talking about like Javier Milei or something like that, and he snapped. He was like, "Well, what if he's actually a Jewish puppet, and you approve of that?" And I was like, "No, dude, I don't approve of all of Javier's personal friends and shit. I'm just saying I like his end cap, pitch. That's it. That's all I was saying."
I don't even remember that part.
I just remember that's when I was like done. I was done with it. I was like, dude, I don't have time for all your mental illness. Like if you got, if you need medication or something or a vacation or whatever, you got to do, just get your shit straightened out. And call me back.
Just give him a little space, dude. He'll work it out.
Yeah.
Well, Nero, if you're watching, you heard it here.
So, and I understand we all got our little problems and stuff. So, I try to be patient with people and I wait until they sort their shit out. And then I say, okay, come back on a better day. Just like today, I can't talk for shit. So I'm not going to give you a long lecture or anything. I'm just
croaking in. I almost feel bad. Like
croaking out. So, but anyways, so I'm not really going to go over to Machine Lies either because I don't think we really vibe that much, to be perfectly honest. So he's a cool cat, but we don't really mesh that much on our fundamentals and stuff. So
well, I mean, it's a big enough community, I think.
I might start my own channel eventually, but again, I don't see any audience or community, so I'm not really in a big hurry or anything. So we'll see.
Well, it's not really about. You'll get the audience when you got content and people like, I don't know. I
No,
think you should, man. You
I
should
don't.
keep
I don't
learning
think
things.
you've
Don't
actually
sit in
heard my
minds.
full spiel yet. You've only heard like appetizer bites of the shit I've got to lay down, and so when you hear the full package, like most
Yeah.
people are gonna bail.
It
They're
gets
gonna be like,
darker and darker, like all of these utopias.
"Yeah, Jeff's gonna be like, this shit's weird, man. This sounds creepy. This bunker in the
I mean,
woods.
I like what it's
delicious."
not better than what I have now. If you have to sell somebody a superior
Everything's fine, Jeff.
product to what they currently have.
Everything's fine. The room on fire is fine, Jeff. Don't worry. Everybody's
Well, we
okay.
had Lib on the panel yesterday to basically describe his utopia as the system that we currently have in place now. So,
Which one?
I
Who?
mean, that was
Yeah, but
progress.
while admitting that none of it's realistic or actualizable in our lifetimes, so I kept wondering why so much time was being wasted on it. Like
Oh,
how much
I
personal
really feel it was
mental
waste. It
energy
was
do you
kind
have
of
to
a-
pour into something that's not even going to ever be real?
Well,
Which part's
I
not
mean,
going to be real?
But when
It's like
you're
an
a kid, you
extreme
never-
form of
you're-
daydreaming.
Who's is not going to be real, Jeff?
Live. He even admitted it. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah,
he puts so much of himself into this fantasy utopia that he even admits is not ever going to be real.
Now, see,
I
Jeff,
mean,
this
I
is
felt
one of
it
my
when-
pet peeves because I feel like in your mind you kind of equate me and Lib as kind of basically the same quality of
What the
proposals.
part I just described, absolutely.
And
Over
so that's
investing in the
where
ideal over the real.
that's
I mean,
why
what do you
I'm
think
returning to
your
the
most
bunker,
extreme
Jeff,
belief is?
because I tried plain speak English and I can't get across to you how much more serious I am than he is, and so I don't know how else to phrase it.
It's the sincerity is not what we're arguing. It's the
No. I'm talking about
actualizability of
pragmatism,
the vision.
reality, Jeff.
Yeah.
Pragmatism,
I don't think.
reality.
Well, as we see from Jeff, and you have your trailer out in the woods. Yes, it is possible to be out on land
not a
doing your own
trailer.
thing.
It's a house.
But then you throw in the militias and the no taxes.
You
and
did it again, Jeff. You did it again. I never said malicious. I'm not. Malicious is not part of my equation.
It was. You said it,
It
like
was
on
at one
2 or 3
point.
streams.
No, it wasn't. It was
Yes.
it was bullshit talking because Jeff
The
said,
day
"Well,
you
what are you gonna
talked
do about it
there were
today?"
militias with guns, getting all the militias together.
Okay,
First
you didn't present it as it was bullshit as a bullshit talking point at the time. You
Now you're just
defended
gaslighting.
it. You defended it quite vehemently. So how are we supposed to know that you meant that as in jest or whatever? I mean, like
Because
I'm
if you
saying-
were seriously
didn't.
listening, you would know what I've been saying all along.
He didn't. He's gaslighting. And
I mean,
so
you-
the problem with
somebody
Jeff
has ever heard
is
you.
he doesn't
Writing.
listen, and then he fills in the blanks for me and says that
No,
I
you could
said
just
this
go
and
back
that.
and watch it on the several streams that
You're
you talked
right,
about.
Jeff. That's the beauty of these recorded
But it
videos.
doesn't even depend on my ability to listen or remember.
You
Just
can
go
see the
watch it.
part where you and Chris accused iPhi of not answering your questions,
I would
and then you
love to
can
chop
back
down
up the
some
video
trees.
and see where I did answer each one of your questions. So we
Well,
know.
cool. I'm
who's
not
bullshit,
doubting
Jeff.
myself. You are. So you go look it up
So,
and watch it. Verify.
I
it.
agree.
you also
There's a breakdown in
sit here?
communication, so that's why I wish you well.
You know.
And so, anyways, I might do flow state. He's got some shitty ass hours, man. I'm not staying up till 4 a.m. trying to talk to
Well, I think
Artist
like
Tigers.
take care of your voice first, because I would hate
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
to get worse over
Yeah, yeah.
chat.
All right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to convince Joe that it's not in my head. Western medicine is in our head, but not this shit.
Well, I personally am glad you stuck
Okay.
around, as I want to
Yeah,
hear what
I
you
mean-
had to say.
I am too. Like as I said, like whenever you first talked about going to your bunker in the woods, like I said, like it disappointed me because I told you I'd miss you on the panels and stuff like that. I mean,
Okay.
Okay. Hold on, guys.
And
With the
you're
voice I have left,
not-
I've got 5 minutes left. Listen,
Oh, all right.
Jeff,
Listening.
I will come back to Outliers on these very specific conditions.
You're gonna be back anyway. But go ahead. You can put them out there.
I will not be on the panel with Lib or Moose.
Okay. Well, don't come if they're on. Don't come on or remind me.
If they come on, I'll leave.
Okay.
okay.
that's-
What's
that's-
wrong
I
with
do that.
Moose? Like
I
Moose, like
don't have time or patience. Hey, Chris,
Moose seems so harmless. likable.
Chris, I almost had respect for you for a while until you started to get into that lying bullshit of like saying iPhi won't answer our questions and blah 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 blah. Rewind to that video and see where you lost the end of my patience. So
Okay. Well,
I will give you a fair
don't remember.
chance. I will let you prove me wrong and that I don't answer your questions. And from now on, in all of our future,
Are we still on the first term?
That's it. That's the only terms, Jeff. That's the only terms.
Okay.
No
just
lip
remind
or
me
moose.
about them.
By the
Okay,
way, Jeff, if you want to know the inside joke, the reason why I keep telling Moose that his wife pegs him is because the last
I don't wanna know.
conversation I had with Moose, he
I don't wanna
for
know.
some reason insinuated that my wife pegs me in my bunker, which I don't know had what to do with the conversation. But
This seems like y'all are in like third grade.
exactly, Jeff. Those are the conversations I don't entertain anymore. So you retards can have your fun with pegging each other or whatever. I don't engage in that bullshit.
Well, you brought it up.
I didn't bring it up, Jeff. Moose,
Just
go
now,
back
now
up
you
the
brought it up.
video
None
and
of us
see
brought
who
up
said
pegging.
what first, Jeff.
I'm talking about right now, today. You brought it up.
I
Like,
told
came
you
in
the
here and
reason why
brought up
I
your
won't be on
Donald
the panel,
Neuro
Jeff. That's the
So
only
you
reason
want to
why I brought
pretend
it up.
one thing after like doing the complete opposite in front of us.
Jeff,
like,
I told you
5
the
minutes earlier.
reason why I won't be on the panel with those people. That's that I gave you that courtesy.
Yeah, and you can manage that. Like, there's nothing I have to do. If someone's on the panel that you don't want to be on a panel with, just take
Exactly.
yourself off.
You don't have to do shit, Jeff.
Right.
As soon as they
I
show
mean,
up,
I appreciate
I'll show
your opportunity
myself
to
out.
share this.
Anyways,
Well,
Chris,
that's fine.
from
But
now
seriously,
on,
take care of the
Chris,
voice.
the first time you accuse me of not answering your question, I'm going to be very angry about it, and I will have
Ooh.
words with you about it. So,
All right.
Just
Well,
be prepared.
You feel feel free to
I'm sure
like,
you'll hear
point it
from
out.
Karen in HR.
Yeah. I will definitely ask to speak to your manager. So, we will write a strongly worded letter to your congressman. Anyways, Jeff, I'll come back after my voice recovers because
All right.
I don't see me staying up till 4 a.m. to try and jibe with Flo because that shit's fucked up. So
Not
I don't
worth
know.
it.
I don't even know what to do at this point. But anyways,
Take care of your voice. Do the
also PFJ will still not
thing.
debate seashells. So you need to start a debate seashell petition with PFJ so that
Why do I
bring
have
him onto
to
your
start
show.
that? Like, why you start it? Yeah, I'll
Bring
promote it.
Bring him onto your show. I'll debate him on your show. Just bring him here.
You can go find people to debate, and I'll host it here.
Bring on PFJ. I still want to talk to him eventually.
I mean, he doesn't. He shows up when he wants to. We don't really have any power over PFJ.
Just ask him nicely. Just say, "Hey, buddy, come on over."
Next time I talk to him, I will.
Because he keeps hiding behind this. Oh, sorry, I can't debate people unless they show on cam. Sorry, iPhi.
Yeah, well, on his show. That's his.
So,
that's
anyways,
what he wants for his
all right,
show.
I'm out of voice. Later.
All right, later.
All right, man. Take it easy. Hey, is my mic working?
Yeah. Are you
Okay.
still outside?
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, that iPhi just does not answer questions, does he?
Because that's why I asked if my mic was working. I kept asking, "What's your most extreme view? What's going on? Let's chat." And I felt
Oh
like
no, I don't think we heard that.
Yeah, I changed the setting there was a setting on for automatically adjust mic volume, and I turned that off, so I can't really see like the little bar around my name if it's moving or not.
Yeah, that's fine, man. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, I probably don't have that much interesting to say anyway, but
that's all right.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
did you stream yesterday? Because I think
I played a little bit of Starfield, and yeah, it's been fun. I like doing that. It's funner when there's people in chat, but I don't really promote my channel a ton, and I don't know. It's kind of
was somebody in Discord? It wasn't you, I guess, but there's somebody in Discord that was in the Outliers Discord that was streaming like Rocket League or something like that, and
that was Moose. Yeah, I checked that out for a minute.
It was Moose. Yeah,
it's it's kind of cool just to share what you're doing. I mean, Starfield is a inherently solo game, so like you're only interacting with NPCs, and sometimes when something funny happens, it's just good to share a laugh with the chat or something. Especially in Starfield, there's just so many ridiculous bugs in those games, and all the typical Bethesda bugs. Like you'll be walking somewhere, or if you kill somebody for some reason, they'll like fly up 100 feet in the air or whatever.
Yeah. I played it. I played like the basically introductory part of it until you get to like the first, till you get to the part where you start actually going to places in space and you have to like, you realize that everything is fast travel, and then like, and that was where I kind of checked out. I couldn't like, I don't know. I was having trouble getting into it in the first place, but like I don't know. It's something about it just bored me. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it's one of those games. It's like, oh well, I have a real life that might be more interesting than this.
Even my boring real life felt more interesting than what I was doing there. I don't know. But I feel that about, I feel that way about most video games nowadays, though. I mean,
That's
I
all
try
they
to
make
play.
me want to do is the real thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I-
I try to kind of put my mindset in it. Like, you know, this is the closest I'll ever get to interstellar travel. So, you know,
I try to play the new
I found
Spider-Man
myself
game.
doing a lot of random things that ended up being kind of fun. Like I wanted to go to Pluto. I went to Pluto, like for no reason whatsoever, just other than to go there. And then I went to like, you know, Neptune. I stayed away from Uranus.
Your planet Janet.
But
I'm
say
not a
what?
racist. I didn't even know, what race are you, Frank? I thought you were Canadian.
Race? What race? He's probably calling me a
I
racist.
admit, I assumed that was white. I assumed you were a little white Canadian kid. What?
Gen X never
I don't know your
said
channel.
so.
Put it in the. Type it
Yeah,
to me.
I subscribed to your channel, Frank, but I didn't see. I didn't even know that you were.
You stream video
Like,
games.
killing it, dude. Like when me and Frank both started streaming relatively at the same time with the video game stuff. I did some outdoorsy type stuff for, you know, just for fun during the summer, but we had the same amount of subs, and he's about to hit 300, and I'm still like piddling back and forth between.
See, what are you
200.
complaining about, Frank? You're ahead of Jeff.
He's way
Keep
ahead.
kitty vids.
It's all that coffee, man.
We've only got 177. We got 177 subscribers, which is, you know, is like we've almost come up 100 of subs since we really started doing this like every day. So it's something, I guess, but it's not a lot. Yeah.
You're never on
Well-
camera. We don't know what you look like.
He's been on my panel before. I've run panels while I play the video sometimes. Yeah, we chatted.
On camera?
Say what now?
Was he on camera?
No, it wasn't cammed up,
Yeah. Okay.
but like definitely he's got a voice.
Sure thing. Hey, Frank, you came and watched the end of the Curse with us, though. I saw you were in there with us, right? I think that was you. Wasn't that you, Frank? Not gonna go into spoilers or anything.
You got
I'm not gonna go spoilers or
25
anything,
subs on your channel.
Oh, 25.
I don't even know what your channel is, Jonathan. So if you get me a link, I'll share it.
He's got a
But
range. Can he post it?
I would definitely, without getting any spoilers away, I would recommend everyone watch The Curse and then prepare for the last episode being like one of the funniest things I've probably seen on television in a long time.
You'll
It's
never
hilarious.
see that ending coming.
You'll never see the ending coming, and you'll never. I mean, there's nothing. No way to spoil it, because there's like, unless I actually tell you what happens, like you will never see it coming.
Don't tell.
Yeah,
me.
I'm not going to. But it's
worth
hilarious.
it's worth the pay. It's worth the wait. The payoff is worth the wait.
Stop. Well,
The payoff
I'll check
has
it out.
nothing to do with the rest of the show. It's completely it takes place in basically a different reality, basically. But it is definitely something that you will definitely remember it.
Well, what's your channel, Frank? I'm trying to get people subbed.
Yeah, it just
Go sub to
yeah.
Frank and maybe Jonathan's good on panels.
Well, Frank can't post his channel link. So Frank, if you want to jump onto StreamYard, post it in the private chat. We don't have to bring you on. Post it in the private chat, and then we can put your.
Oh, it doesn't. You have to come backstage and post it. It doesn't show up in the main chat.
You don't have to come on the stream. Don't worry. We won't.
This is iPhi. This is a great example of this is healthy. What you're doing. This is a great example of self-care.
Yeah, you know, I've started to learn YouTube is almost like a path of self-discovery in a way, because like you connect with people and you learn the ropes, I guess. So I'm glad to see you still stuck around, iPhi. I don't know
Okay.
how to pronounce it.
Frank, can you see the private chat? You can stick it in there.
Yeah, I know. I have adopted this this pseudo 3D. It is true. If you wear 3D glasses, I can come out of the screen and like reach in there.
All right, I think I have it. Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Okay. Am I subscribed? Yeah, I am subscribed. All right, I'm going to put Frank's channel.
Damn, Frank's gonna be killing me even more now. Oh.
Yeah, I have a red blue hue because I have a red light and a blue light. That is I have these big stage light things that are I had for I got these for like for my old YouTube studio thing I was trying to build a long time ago.
He is an old leftist hippie, anti-capitalist, from what I understand. It sounds very leftist.
He's
socialist,
he's very utopian. Very utopian. He believes in a cashless society where no one has to. You wouldn't. I don't think you wouldn't. I don't think you. And you won't get him to elaborate because he doesn't have any specific plans. It's all very broad, top down. Like we need the.
I don't know. Libs almost sounds more sane, except it's not very realistic either. But at least Lib admits that up front and doesn't try to pretend. Which Jack kind of admits that sometimes too, if you catch him the right way.
Well, but no, Jack doesn't really. He admits that people aren't doing it, but he thinks that if everyone would just like get on the same page, if everyone would just listen to him,
I don't know. I look at it all as psychology anyway, so it tells a completely different story to me. But I don't know his childhood or his past.
Yeah, I don't think you and Jack Talcott would probably get along very well. iPhi. I don't. It's not. I don't see that. I don't see you guys
you're
having.
Too contrarian too. You like to challenge. Video game. Ooh, well, y'all work it out. I'll be right back.
I subscribed to your channel too, Jonathan, the other day whenever you were on from the YouTube chat, and I couldn't tell what kind of videos you really do though. Like what kind of content you really do? What do you do then, man? Well, anyway, Chuck, if you're out there, you can jump on if you want. And if I don't pop in that often on people's channels, I have not had as much time here recently to do panel stuff, and I've had time. I've been very, very tired. I don't know. I have not been feeling great lately. So.
Animal
That's
videos,
cool, man.
like from around your house.
I don't expect anybody to watch me play video games. It's cool when people do. I mean,
it looks more fun doing what you're doing now, like playing around the land.
It looks more fun than.
It looks like it would be a good place for paintball or laser tag.
I thought about doing something like that because it'd be a nice little business or side business or something to make.
It would make a great paintball range. Yeah, be a great paintball range. Yeah.
There's on the deed it says 24.75 acres, but I think it's actually a little bit more than that because of the way the land has changed.
I love it. Chuck, do y'all think this is true? That
well, the mental health hospitals went away a long time ago, so I don't think they immediately just all exited.
I don't know. I used to work in mental health, and I would not compare YouTube to what I saw. If they are being drawn to YouTube, it's not the extreme versions. And a lot of what I see that looks like mental health is autism or neurodivergence, honestly, to my eye. But it's also like hard not to see the point of this comment either. Because if you watch some of these panels, it can give you this impression.
Yes, indeed.
This is where all the mental health people are coming, and all the substance use people, and 12-steppers, and former addicts, and ex-convicts, and all the people that Jesus probably would have hung out with.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about this shelf. Use that.
Oh my God, is that like
Oh.
a junk barn?
I love
places like that.
I love
it's-
junk barns.
It's my barn. And yeah, there's a lot of junk in here, but it's useful junk. I promise.
Yeah. Oh no, it always is.
My grandfather had a barn like that too.
Yeah, we used to play.
I guess he still does. I guess it's still out there, but
Everybody's got to have a washing machine in their barn.
Oh yeah, state of the art.
you gotta have a place to wash your dogs, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess it. You don't want to banging up the inside of your inside, washing machine. You gotta throw them the outside.
Yeah, this was completely overgrown back here when I started too. Like there was like vines and stuff tearing apart the barn. Actually, the poison ivy grew so thick over on this section here. That's good. That's an OSHA certified bridge right there.
Yes, indeed. I like it.
Like this whole section was completely eaten up by poison ivy, or poison oak or sumac or something. I don't know. Like it destroyed part of the wood here and everything. It's like you can still see a remnant up there.
That stuff is crazy. Like that, like those vines, like that. The way they can like embed themselves into stone, even like the most solid, like even marble. They can find tiny micro cracks and like start working the way into the stone and just through the how steady and slowly they grow themselves into those things. They can tear apart even the most solid of structures. It's just insane. My parents had a brick house back whenever I was younger that had the ivy problem. Like, and it was like it had damaged a lot of the brick and everything like that. Crazy.
I got a little issue here. One of my security cameras fell down. There we go.
Oh wow, you have cams on your barn?
Yeah, I had somebody steal my damn tractor battery. Do you believe that? And I had an old scrap alloy rim that I was like all happy and giddy about taking to the scrap yard, Somebody came into my barn and took my rim and my tractor battery.
Where's your nearest neighbor?
Well, now my nearest neighbor is about 1.5 miles that way. But actually, yeah, about 1.5 miles
Do you know who took it?
I actually think I do, because one of my other friends who lives down in the holler, he's kind of he spent some time in jail for being a kleptomaniac. Basically, he's been arrested like 60 times for petty theft. And
60?
Yeah.
How does somebody?
He's not a very good thief, then, is he?
60 times.
Well, this all happened like between the time he was like 18, 20, 27 or so, and then he spent 18 months in prison, and then he came out a lot different, but he still has these like weird tendencies. Because what he does, like what he did, like he I know he was talking about needing a battery for his ATV, and
then suddenly your battery disappeared. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then suddenly my battery disappeared, and I was chit chatting with him about it. But then he came up on his ATV. He came up and like basically like gave me a bunch of free weed and stuff, and was being super nice to me, and was like, "Here, check this out. Here, try this," and gave me almost like $100 ball of like whatever, it's called scissor hash, like the hash that gets on the scissors from when you cut down weed.
Yeah.
And when he handed it to me, he's like, "Bro, I told you I'd be straight. I just needed my next harvest to come through." And I was like, "Straight for what?"
Right.
But
so
like,
maybe in his mind he was like he had like already made this deal with you that like
it was
that.
Because I know he's a good dude, but he does have some issues, like most people do. Like, he's a klepto. Like, if he needs something, he'll take it, but then he'll get you back for it later. Like, "Here you go, man. I was just thinking about you and wanted to be really nice for no reason at all."
No, I've known a lot of people like that. tend to avoid those kind of people in my life now. But yeah, I've known a lot of people like that.
Yeah. And we keep a healthy distance. We don't really hang out. He does grow some pretty good weed though, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't invite him into my house too much. Like, not the kind
I
of
wouldn't invite
want
him in at all.
If you've done any shit like that since, and this was about 5 years ago, so
Okay, that's good.
he's
Is
got.
that just like country living, country
Yeah.
justice, whatever?
Yeah, I
it
mean,
kind of is. It's kind of just the way it is out in the sticks sometimes. Like that's how people are.
I know
sometimes.
you took it, motherfucker. I can't prove it, but I mean, I'm not going to take any drastic action unless I can prove something to begin with. So
Just get him really high and just be like, just get right up in his face. Be like, did you take my battery? You took it, didn't you?
I just went and got cameras. So the other day, actually, he drove by my house and threw an M80 out the fucking window just to fuck with me.
Well, there you go. That's a good friend then.
Yeah, that's country living. But I did get him on camera for that, and I was like, "You motherfucker! I seen what you did." But yeah, I mean, I've known him, and like, our families have known each other for 2 or 3 generations around here. So, I mean, there's that going, that kind of
Like
country living, I guess.
Out where my parents live, they live pretty far outside the city. I mean, so I don't know, it's like 15 minutes into like where the nearest kind of like sign of civilization is, and like but like out there where like through one person or other, I ended up meeting this one guy, and I didn't really he creeped me out right from the get-go, but he said he was my best friend for a while, and he kept coming by my parents. I don't even know how he knew where I lived. I guess he must have followed me or something. It was kind of creepy, and like the dude was just like a tweaker, and he was always coming by like trying to like sell me junk, like literal like little trash, like circuit boards and stuff he'd ripped out of other stuff, and I was just like, I finally had to like I finally had to like go and like run him off the property and be like, get out of here, leave, don't it was like I don't want you here.
Hilarious.
Is Chris Sixay?
No.
Sounds like a cartoon character.
You can think I am whatever sexuality you want to freak.
No.
I will. I am married with children. I am married with 2 children, but I mean, you can think whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
There's something going on in the chat.
Da freak is.
I could extort him for that ATV. I ain't gonna do that. We're good. I if he had just asked, like, I think it was winter time when it was missing too. So I mean, if he had just asked, I would have let him use it. Like, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
That's what always pisses me off about people that have stolen from me in the past. And I've had a lot of people steal from me. A lot of friends, or quote unquote friends. They're not friends any longer, of course. But people have stolen from me, and it always pissed me off because like there was nothing that anybody ever stole that I wouldn't have just given them. They always stole like petty things. They never stole anything that was like really. It only pissed me off that they went behind my back and did this shit. Like, I mean, like, like even if it was like even people that like like I guy like try to like say he only needed to borrow $100 from me or something like that, and then like he just totally ghosted and I never brought it back, that sort of thing. And like if he told me he just needed the money, I would just give him the money, like I mean, don't go through this whole thing of like I'm gonna pay you back, and then just like
stop wasting my time and energy listening to your nonsense, right?
Yeah, just like, I mean, it's just like just be straight with me, and I'll do what I can, because I've always helped people. So.
Yeah, Frank, then there are reasons people have
some bare knuckle boxing. You can check him out.
Who's doing bare knuckle boxing?
I don't know.
He said just Frank is going to find some food and watch some bare knuckle boxing.
New subs. Man, Frank's gonna be a big YouTuber one day. I would be happy to say I was there at the start. Hey, don't forget your tower, Frank.
He's a funny comment troll. I'll give him that.
He does. He's got some zingers. He still thinks the Earth is flat, though. So I mean.
Oh, he's a flat earther.
Oh yeah. We talked about it. We talk about it. From around the world, we can talk about it.
Donut Earth win, man. Donut Earth's the only thing that makes sense.
There's somebody shooting a rifle out from the distance.
I know. I think I'm actually moving on from Donut Earth. I think I'm gonna go with hexagon Earth, maybe, or something like that.
It's an oblate
Yeah,
spheroid.
it's not really a sphere. It's an oblique spheroid, according to
Yeah.
Well, no, it is.
the
There's no
graphs.
belief.
because it's fatter
For
in
real.
the middle because of the way the spinning motion kind of shapens it out, I guess. It's interesting in the Starfield game that through a natural process, the Earth loses its atmosphere and everybody abandons it in the year 2300 or whatever.
Right.
And everybody's like, they're colonized on the moon, Mars, Titan, Europa. And in fact, there's like little settlements all over the place, and there's like, space pirates and all the standard stuff that you would expect to see, I guess.
I'll
But it's
go
kinda like-
once. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was responding to Writing that he said cube Earth. I was gonna say I'll go a step further. I'll say time cube Earth, man. I'll raise you one time cube Earth. So
Oh,
I guess not everybody here knows time cube. It's an old internet thing. It was like an internet spurg site that was like this guy. I think it's still archived a few places. If you look up time cube, you can probably still find like the thing. It's one of the most insane things like you'll ever read or see. This guy was like time cube. Time cube.
Time cube.
Yes, time cube. He said that the Earth was 4-dimensional. It because it had 4 quadrants, and therefore there was 4 Earths at all time. It didn't make any sense. Like reading it makes your brain twist your brain into pretzels, just trying to understand like what he's even trying to say. And he was kind of famous for challenging real scientists to disprove his theory. And like he got invited to a couple places to speak on it and stuff like that. So actual colleges invited him to come and to speak on it because of like his like kind of infamous challenges he made, and like people were just like, kind of laughed at him and stuff like that. But I can't remember what the name of the channel. Like there was a really good I think maybe it might have been Down the Rabbit Hole or another channel that actually met the guy, actually went out and talked to him, and like before, like in the days shortly before he died, and it was kind of like a sad story actually. He was a really nice person.
That
but
looks
he had
like
a lot
weather
of mental
coming
problems.
up.
Nah, it's just the sun setting through the tree line up there, and then there's a
Oh, it's already
chemtrail.
setting?
That's
That's
You can
already
see it.
evening over there? Wow.
well, it's 4:00, and yeah, during the winter we only get sun till about maybe 5-6 o'clock. It sucks because like especially working third shift, man. Like literally, my existence is nearly completely dark.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I've been there. I did that. I worked when I started with Amazon. I did the overnight shift, like which was 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. till 6 in the morning, something like that. But you had like an hour lunch in there, so like it was like an 11
They pay a
and a
little
half
more
hour
for it.
shift, something like that.
That sounds like graveyard.
Yeah, it was a graveyard, but like I would go home like at 6 a.m. like right as the sun was coming up, and I'd sleep until like around like sundown and stuff like that. And we'd go up to work, and then you see like daylight for a little while, and then it's all dark, and then you just live in like darkness for long periods of time. So
This is the house that the serfs used to live in when this was an operational dairy farm, but the roof started leaking and they never fixed it, and it just collapsed.
Ruins.
yeah, it reminds me like it
I think
reminds me
that
of a lot of
happened
places.
completely not.
You're breaking up, man.
Oh, I thought it
you're
was
freezing
me.
up. No, it's him.
I like to package stuff.
I know if his signal's getting bad out where he's at or what, but he's breaking up a lot.
Yeah, I think the connection's struggling a bit.
Did you check out Paul's stream today, Jeff? I was asleep, so I didn't see it.
Paul.
Paul?
PF.
Yeah.
He just took callers.
Kidding. Check this out. It's January, or wait, it's February. And I've already, hey, guys, cut it out. Play nice. Hey, guys, I'm not sitting down here for you. I've got stuff growing.
Oh, look,
These
those like
are
little onions.
That my
Just
great
grass?
grandma painted. Hey guys. As soon as I start talking, they wanna act up
So
here.
happy.
Wow, we got a lot of them.
Oh, is that grass?
These would be cool.
Is it just grass or what is it?
No, they're flowers, some kind of azaleas or something.
Okay.
But they were planted by somebody in my family a long time ago, and I thought they were long gone, because if I could show you pictures of how this all looked before I started, like there's some of the trees, there's all the brush from this little section.
Damn. You
But
cleared it all
I
by
didn't
hand?
see any of these at all last summer, and I got like fucking thousands of them over here now. That's kind of amazing. These were planted like more than 100 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But this was completely overgrown here, and there was actually, these were planted along the corner of a fence line that went up this hill, like up that way, and it went like down to where this is right here. Oh, they're underneath me too. Oh wow, there's even more of them. And then there's like this tree right here destroyed one of my chainsaws, and I'll show you why. Because trying to cut into barbed wire that has completely grown all inside of this tree.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where no matter where I tried to cut it, it was basically like messing up my chains, or it would, it's just, you can't cut through metal with a chainsaw. It'll fuck it up. At least not metal wire.
Right.
Oh, there's even more of them right here. Oh no, I stepped on them.
Well, plants are tough like that. So.
Man,
Shit,
this
they
is better than a
survived
nature trip.
over here with all this like these vines. This is an invasive vine. I forgot what it's called, but it's
Can you
literally
swing
killed.
on them?
Oh, I could swing on this. Ugh. I have
Can
to
you do
set
the
up the
Tarzan
tripod.
yell while you do it?
Actually, I don't know if I want to
feel
swing on that. It doesn't seem like it'll support me.
Oh.
I was once out in Arkansas at this this weird park area, and we were walking on this trail, and we saw these pipes in the ground, and we were like, well, these must be ventilation pipes from some sort of like probably from a mining cave or something like that. And like we looked down like the side of this cliff, which we really didn't realize was really a cliff. We thought it was like a hill because it just didn't look that steep. But so we were like, oh, I bet we could just kind of like walk down here. And then we get like me and my friend get like just down to like this like just I don't know, we get like 20 feet down, and we're like, oh shit, this is a cliff. Like we're fucked. What are we gonna do? And one of my friends realized this before I did, and I had moved much faster, and he got back up no problem. But I was stuck down here against this tree on the side, growing on the side of this cliff side that was just like sloped really thing. And I realized like if I kept going, like I was gonna fall off the cliff and die. So I started trying to like climb myself back up, and I ended up like getting kind of hopping myself like Mario, like from like little like tree to tree to tree, trying to get back up this thing, the side of this cliff. And I get to one point where I can't go anywhere else except for like this one. There's like one little other tree over there that I can get to. If I get there, I can make it back up, I think. And I jumped for this little sapling, and the sapling breaks, and I start sliding the thing. And what I grabbed on to a vine like that, one of those vines, and with the actual like inertia I had from falling, as I grabbed this vine and grabbed onto it, I actually swung like Indiana Jones style across this thing, and actually got to the other side, and got back. And I was hyperventilating for probably an hour and a half after that. But yeah, but I was quite a bit fatter then, but my friends called it the Fatty Indiana Jones Chronicles forever after that. So yeah, but I have swung on a vine once, so that was my point of that.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was like, oh, this might be a cool story. I'm gonna set up my restream while I listen, and I kind of messed it all up for a minute. So I didn't hear the whole story, but I got the point. Yeah, it's funny. I was having my old manager came by me yesterday when we were working and was telling me how working at the place I work is more stressful than the time he was being shot at in fucking Iraq.
Oh my God.
And he's a young kid, right? He's only, I would say I mean, I consider him a young kid. I'm about 10 years older than him, but he's one of these, and he used to be my manager, but he stepped down because he found the job too stressful. He just, just is a package handler like me, which is, I'm perfectly content with that at this point in my life. But he was telling me like all this stuff, and I was like, look, bro, when you were my manager, I listened to the last 20% of what you had to say to me most of the time, because you share too much of your passion, man, and you got to chill, because people tune that out. And I know that you take what other people say to you to heart instead of to your brain. So you got to ask yourself, the questions on how much that matters and what's the possible outcome and what you need to do or what you do.
Passionate people don't think that way, though.
Well, I'm just trying to kind of help him out because he was talking about applying for another position and stuff. But yeah, you're right. A lot of people don't think that way, and then they get emotional instead of logical when they're dealing with issues. Because, in reality, he was actually a very effective manager, but he didn't respect a lot of the different changes they were trying to put through, and he didn't take the feedback well from their pushback on it, and just same old kind of work stuff, I guess.
So they got rid of him?
Well, they didn't get rid of him. They told him he couldn't be a manager anymore.
Oh.
I was a manager during the peak season. But I've been pretty upfront with them on my level of commitment there. So they let me just do it for the couple of months during the Christmas season when we were busier or whatever. So and I like to have a job that's simple, easy. You go and do your thing. You can talk to people if you want, but you're never going to be like obligated to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get people from all different stages of life there, because like they literally hire everybody, right? Everybody can try it, but it's a tough job. Most people don't stay. There's a kid in there who was like, they paired him up for me, and I know why, because he was getting upset about getting too many boxes or something at one time or whatever. And he tells me, "Oh, I've been here before. I know what I'm doing. They don't have to treat me like a baby." And I'm just listening to him talk, and I say, "Hey, man, how old are you?" "Oh, I just turned 19. Oh, okay.
Hey,
Then you got it all figured out, then.
Yeah, my bad for
Good luck
thinking that
with
you didn't know. Yeah, I've worked with people like that before too, but I've also been the guy saying that sort of thing before too, I guess. So, but I mean, I mean, not when I was 19 though. But
I mean, I think it's important to, take constructive criticism and to really be as objective as possible when you're looking at, the best way and safest way to do things and whatnot. But, any job that you have, you should at least take it seriously. I mean, that's why places like McDonald's and everywhere, like all the fast food places that don't pay anybody anything, that's why they're terrible, is nobody cares.
I cared. I can't help caring. I don't care because of the money. I just care because I don't know any other way.
Thing.
I was passionate about getting those French fries right when I worked at McDonald's, and getting the right amount of salt on them.
Absolutely.
And so that they'd still be hot and warm by the time the drive-through person got around.
You're the one who decides the level of your own self-worth, not other people. So fuck them if people think you're being ridiculous. But if you're going to do something, you might as well, right?
I do feel that way. Just got off the
Yeah.
beach. Damn.
Collecting some
Take the camera next time,
drugs.
like Chopper Jeff is doing.
Yeah, like
We would love to see the beach.
show us your
I
world.
feel like I'm on a nature show tour.
That is a
I love
really
this
interesting question, Lindsay Hawkins, because I would have thought it would be meese. If there's more than one moose, why isn't it meese? Like
I
goose?
thought it was
geese?
mouses. Meese was the mice.
she's got an interesting story about that too. She got the
Mice
person
is the plural.
who corrected her on Twitter about that. Lindsay, you got to chime in with that because I know
What's
the story.
the plural of the plural? Would it be meese?
What's a plural of plural?
I don't know. Like mice is the plural of mouse.
I mean, if there's only one plural.
And the plural of mice would be meese. The plural of a plural. It's a social construct.
Yeah, I think she's typing like, yeah. Roseanne Barr told me that on Twitter. Yeah, that's true. I saw.
I feel,
it
there
was
you
like,
go.
Yeah. She
Roseanne
was having an argument with
that.
somebody on Twitter about what the plural of moose was, and then for some reason, I don't know why, actual Roseanne Barr, the actual verified account, this is way before she got thrown off Twitter and before she got canceled for all that stuff. She actually she actually jumped into that tweet thread to correct them that the plural of moose was moose, and that was.
Well,
that
I'm
was
going to
the
ask the
extension.
AI right now.
That's great.
It was just weird. Like I have no idea like why that would have been on Roseanne Barr's radar. No clue. It just.
Oh, I don't know. I don't try to analyze
She was
Roseanne.
on Ambient. Like, let me find some internet randos to talk to.
The plural
She
of
didn't
moose is
interact with
also moose.
Mhm.
The AI has spoken. There's no meese or mooses involved. It specifically says that. It's a loan word. It came from the Algonquin language. So their plurals don't work the same as ours.
Google Bard just started doing image generation. I saw it today.
Oh.
I tried it out a little bit, and it's not as good as the Bing AI though. It's not nearly as good.
Get inspired. It has a YouTube. Show me some YouTube videos about inspiring best man speeches. No, I wanted to get inspired by our stuff. We definitely don't have that yet. Although we do have, what's his face? Fatty married Chris. They married 2 dogs on stream last night. Fatty
I heard about that. The guy was talking about that.
This marriage for 2 dogs. One of them was in South Korea, and one of them was somewhere else. And the dogs got to know each other on stream, and he married them because he's an officiated minister or something for his.
Like a dog minister?
He never would come out and say what religion lets him marry the 2 dogs.
So the dogs don't even live together?
No, I don't even think so. They just got married on stream. I said, I don't know if that's a shark that just got jumped or if that's like a milestone in the streaming universe.
Oh,
but
that sounds
a turning point. Or
what religion are dogs though? What dog religion is there?
I don't know. He would not get into the specifics about. He was very evasive about.
I mean, I guess we can guess
under what religious umbrella he was.
And we had like
iPhi or Ran or somebody yapping the whole time too. So I had to like get it in between there.
You have to assume that like the dogs we consider the cats to be their Satan, their devil, right?
Well, I see that was my intuition too. Like I'm like something is definitely happening in the streaming universe here, but I'm not able to process it all completely at this moment. But it feels like a shift downwards. It didn't feel like an enhancement or an expansion.
I just have
questions. Like a downward shift from what we were trying to do. But they were all happy about it and excited. So, like, who am I to take people's fun away from them like that?
I think it's fine. People are just having fun. I don't have any issue with it. I think it's
but
funny,
yes, 2 dogs that get married on stream.
I just, I can't take it seriously. It's just goofy. They don't even know each other.
And that's fine though. But like, we don't have to take everything seriously. That's one thing I'm trying to like work on stuff that's more like more comedy, more actual, like, actual.
Damn, I wonder why it wouldn't let you type shark. Yeah, but when does like that movie we watched? When does comedy stop being comedy and become serious, or vice versa? Like how can you tell that line sometimes?
It's just life, though. That's the way life is. Life is like tragedy plus
comedy.
tragedy plus
I've
time
said it
equals
before.
comedy. You know?
And God's made us for fun, didn't they?
Yeah.
And we suffer because we
I
take
think
it seriously.
I think we should have serious conversations. We should talk
I
about
don't.
things
I think we
seriously
should laugh at
Absolutely.
everything. I don't think
every
anything should
conversation
be
can still be
taboo.
funny and serious at the same time. Oh, I
I
got
think
some
it's
mushrooms
healthy
growing.
to be able to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those look like Liberty caps. Holy
Like
shit!
what?
Or that moss?
So, are you guys familiar with psilocybin, the mushroom?
Yeah, is that
Oh,
what that is? Are you shrooming right now
that
live
can't
on my YouTube channel?
that can't be. They don't grow in moss like that.
I mean, I microdose a little bit every day, Jeff, but
I don't know that those don't look familiar to me.
Yeah. I mean,
and
I'm
ours
pretty
grew
sure
out of the cow shit
psilocybin
anyway.
grows in shit, though. Psilocybin grows in shit. Like, it doesn't
But
grow in
certain
trees
types
like
of psilocybin will grow off wood chips or decaying wood, which is what
Really?
this is here.
I don't know. I would be nervous.
Actually, the
to
most
do anything
powerful
with it.
mushroom is called a Liberty cap, and it
We don't
grows
wanna
on wood
lose you.
chips.
Behind some
There is,
mushrooms.
dude. I can't remember. I don't know if it still exists, but there used to be an app that was not that long ago. I remember seeing like
It
somebody
still
talking on a
does.
YouTube
I
video.
have it on my phone. I can bring it
Yeah.
up real quick if
Yeah,
I might.
that'll identify any kind of like
Arrowwood might have photos too.
Yeah, let me pull up the app and I'll try it.
And they'll even tell you like how to cut them open to like look at the kind of spores they have to make sure it's the right thing because like there's a lot of mushrooms that look the same too. So
And don't touch them and lick your fingers.
Definitely
I'm
not.
touching. I know better. Let me pull up the app.
Well, they don't bloom for very long, so I mean, if you were going to harvest them, you'd have to do it pretty quickly. But
Picture this is what the app's called. Install.
I mean, it's about time dogs started taking like the relationships more seriously. I mean, I'm tired of dogs being like just being like immoral sluts. I mean, I think I think it's about time, like that we had some morality put in dog relationships and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, there's no way we're ever gonna get cats to go along with that kind of thing. But I think dogs, we expect more of dogs, don't we? Really, in society.
I think it's dogs make themselves more needy.
Right. Yeah.
Through that projective identification, they create that expectation.
There you go. There you go.
It's in their evolutionary heritage.
I ain't got time for bitches. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're not going to talk about dog marriage at 4 a.m., though, when are you going to talk about it? I don't know if there's a better time to talk about dog marriage than 4 a.m. I think that's probably the premier dog marriage time.
I think that's about when we talked about it. Isn't it people and animals?
Oh, come on now. I do not think these were bestiality, like pro bestiality people that were doing this. They were just silly people on the internet doing that, Chuck. Come on now. I think you're maybe joking.
You went late last night, like because I actually slept and woke up like at 2 a.m. or something. He was still going, so I hopped back on, and I stayed till the end, and it went on for like an hour or two.
I wasn't feeling well to get up and go on, but like I said, like when I woke up and the flows panel was full, like he was literally like they were like.
Well, he said there was somebody backstage trying to come in, and that somebody could pay to have somebody removed.
I think it was Joe Cool. And because I saw iPhi leave, and then I saw then Joe Cool came on shortly thereafter. So, but I fell back asleep.
Yeah, I'm glad iPhi is conserving his voice. It did sound scratchy.
Yeah, he sounds like he's having a little bit of issue there.
Yo,
I'm worried about this one losing, like what this one's going to do.
What's that?
Did the app tell you anything?
Yep, I just posted the link in the private chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to eat them or nothing. I'm not that crazy. But it does say they are hallucinogenic. So if
Aminogastratia.
It says they're poisonous.
The taste is bitter, but still poisonous. Yeah, it's not one I've ever heard of. Oh,
Well, I've heard
unless
of
they're poisonous.
Liberty Caps before, but I thought the Liberty Caps were smaller and had like a dome, like a dome tip, and then another dome on top. But there's actually a whole movie about the Liberty Caps. It's actually called Shrooms. It's a kind of a shitty movie, but it's a fun watch if you just want to, you like B-style horror movies.
It's a
I think
fiction.
I've seen that movie like on like I think back in the old the old video store days. I think I remember seeing that movie in like on video store shelves.
I think it was like 2006 or so when it came out. It was based in Ireland.
That would be about right. Yeah, I never watched it, but I remember seeing them. Like we at the video store I used to work at. Used to have we used to have all kinds of like crazy like stupid B movies on the shelves like that.
No, it was
like
a wedding. They married the dogs. It's even more crazy than a baptism.
Yeah, can they even get married without being baptized?
I don't know. And I think he said he was an altar boy when he was little, so he started out Catholic. So I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
He would not say what religion.
Catholics are baptized.
I thought it might be Hank's religion, the Universalist. What is it? Unitarians.
Yeah, I was raised in.
I was trying to think about I was trying to think of some good dog pun, like dad joke style, like religion name, but I can't think of one. I don't know.
I'm worried about this mushroom. I wouldn't eat them. I wouldn't try to.
Oh no.
Yeah, according to what you sent us, like it says that they're not bitter when cooked, but still poisonous.
Ours grew out of a cow. You had to have cows.
They can grow off of cows, but I mean that's where they're most common. But the mushrooms can literally grow anywhere. It's one of the biggest mysteries in the animal kingdom, or the whole nature kingdom, because we don't really understand fungus at all. As far as how it just randomly appears. I mean, I'm sure you all have walked out into or walked by some random giant mushroom bloom, like you ever seen the big puffer balls that just come up overnight and then just vanish?
I think I've probably seen them before.
But it's a mystery. And there's the mycelium network. Oh, what is this over here? I don't know if you guys watched Star Trek Discovery, the first season, where they explain the jump drive.
Yeah, I remember that.
They use the
right now it looks like you're in the Blair Witch Project, but yeah.
I got something going on over here. These big giant fucking ball looking things. I don't know what they are.
I keep expecting to see little stick figure statues like hanging in the trees. Do
you guys see this?
No.
Should I go horizontal? Can I go horizontal?
Yeah. That would be a great idea, Jeff. What you should do is you should make some of those little Blair Witch little stick figure things tied with twine and hang and hang them in the trees around your property. And
what are those balls? They look like dried out.
Away.
Oh, they look like they fall from the tree. What are those trees called? Something gum, sweet gum trees.
Gum. Yeah, but those are way too big for that. Those are huge.
They look like they come off a tree.
Tastes bad.
Is there a tree around that would be
clearly alien eggs, Jeff? Run away! Like, what are you doing? They're clearly alien eggs.
They're not. Aliens.
I know they're not. I'm just joking.
There's a lot of them over here. Check that out.
Yeah, it looks like they all fell from that tree.
I'm guessing it has to be this big tree right here. This might be. Oh man, I need to clear this area out here. Cause look at this. Something's eating at it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a vine too.
Sure is.
I need to save this tree. It's not even really that far from. I don't know if you can see the dogs through the woods there. I don't know. I think this might be a mango tree.
You think this mangoes?
I think so.
Those are not mangoes.
It's one that something got into.
I don't think mangoes grow in Kentucky.
Kentucky mangoes?
Yeah. I didn't think so either, but my dad told me there's a mango tree up here. You know what? Let me get back to the plant identifier app. Let's try this again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The plant identifier.
It got the mushroom right, but it said it was poisonous. So I wouldn't fool with it.
Yeah, I'm not messing with the mushroom, man. Don't worry. He won't lose me. I'll stick to the
Where's
street
Jeff?
mushrooms.
We haven't seen him in a few
I mean,
days.
even though most mushrooms aren't poison enough to kill you, they would just make you really sick. You would just be like, you would be throwing up for a couple of weeks. But it's not like they would actually kill you. Most unless I mean a lot of it's mostly dangerous for children. They're mostly dangerous for children because children can eat mushrooms like that, not knowing what they are, and they're too small to deal with the amount of poison.
We would not have enjoyed that as a kid.
No, I wouldn't.
It was hard, even as an adult. When I was trying to eat them on purpose, they were hard to get down. They were so gross.
I never.
You have to really go out of your way.
I kind of like the tea. I kind of liked it in tea. It had like
we made it with Kool-Aid and enough sugar. It like the sugar drowned everything out. But even then, you could still take, and then you would belch up that mushroom taste the whole time too.
So the ones that the girl that we got them from, she grew them hydroponically, so they weren't grown
we had to go dig ours out the cow shit.
Yeah, she got them from somewhere else. They were really clean. They had like these bright blue veins in them. They were really cool looking, actually. But your mangoes have autism.
Hedge apples.
Yeah, hedge apples. That's what I would guess too. I think that does sound right. I can't remember exactly what a hedge apple is, but I do know that sounds familiar. And I do.
Maybe his app will tell him.
You're lost, Browns boy.
Oh, it does look. It's Malclura pomifera, the common hedge apple.
Yep,
a common hedge apple.
No, this one says it is the Osage orange. It even has a little rotted up version. Is that the picture he sent them? Malclura pomifera. That is the hedge apple. They're calling it an Osage orange, but hedge apple would make more sense. Also planted as a windbreaker or a hedge plant and can provide adequate shade in gardens. The fruits produce latex secretions.
That's weird.
And they're not typically eaten by foraging animals.
Wow.
The warty fruits are green at first, but they become orange-yellow afterward. It's called the Malclura pomifera.
What's the purpose? The seeds?
Oh, yeah. Bye, freak. Have fun.
Adios.
What's the horse?
Are these edible at any point?
Let me see.
I'm pretty sure they're not.
Do horses?
I mean, they're probably
typically not. It has latex secretions and woody pulp. It said it's typically not eaten by humans and rarely by foraging animals.
Although I guarantee you, if you look
it's
on
an
YouTube,
evolutionary anachronism. It co-evolved with large animal seed dispersal partner that is now extinct. But that hypothesis is controversial, so don't take it as information.
I guarantee you, if you look up on YouTube, you look up like how to eat hedge apples or something like that. There's somebody out there that's figured out how to prepare them, because like there's a whole world of YouTube channels that do nothing but take like forage things and like figure out how to like make them edible.
Yeah.
Like even though
that's why
that is a hard
too. So because there's some crazy dedicated YouTube channels to some weird stuff and even fucking horrible stuff. Like it popped into my mind. There's actually a channel dedicated to hating dogs.
What?
Yes, and it's called "I Hate
Dogs."
Dogs."
Sound hateful.
It is hateful.
I mean,
Yeah.
I used to not like dogs much either, but I would never think of making a channel about hating.
Yeah, them. That's why YouTube needs balance. That's one of the reasons I feel like I should throw my hat in the ring too, even if I don't think it's personally interesting to other people.
You never know. I don't think we're that interesting either.
Yeah, well, I don't even think the people that other people think are interesting are particularly interesting.
I think that's one of our strengths, is like our people are not that interesting, and that's one of the reasons. That's what makes them interesting and likable.
See, and Tommy calls it out. He sees it.
But he calls it out. I don't know why he calls it out or what actually motivates him, but it seems whatever it is seems very self-serving.
Well, he's kind of.
It's not even serving him.
I don't know if you guys know the troll Carl, do you, by chance?
Carl? No, I don't know if I've had the pleasure.
Carl. He's
There's
kind
Fatty.
of a big troll. He's kind of like I would say he's almost like the anti-Tommy. As Carl is the anti-Carl.
I don't think I know Carl.
Tommy's the anti-Carl. But
Tommy's the anti-Carl.
That's how I would compare them in that little community. But Carl is a big troll. He's a big communist troll, and he does all these little ops and videos. He's a Redditor that's got like 500,000 fucking karma or whatever. But in other words, like he kind of evolved out of that like sort of community, at least in my point of view, because that's how I actually ran into Tommy in the first place. But I can send you some funny stuff about Carl. But he's like almost a whole nother discussion in his own. He's one of the people
I don't even know. Send me a clip or something.
I've
never even seen him. Fatty, we were talking about the dog marriage earlier. Come on and tell us about it. You still didn't say what religion you were under.
Too. Hey, Chuck, will you knock it off? I'm back now.
So you know, I posted in the chat. I posted a link to a blog that some guy says that he's been eating 2 tablespoons of hedge apples / oranges.
This is not a medical information channel, by the way.
It is not. It is not. I'm not saying this guy is right.
Eat this plant because
I do not think you should eat it. I'm not telling you to eat it. He said he's been eating it as a cure for cancer, and I thought it was hilarious. So I just was like, some people will think that anything that's disgusting and weird will be somehow a cure for cancer, I guess, you know. So
that's crazy.
I just thought it was funny. I'm not trying to say this guy is right. I'm not trying to say that he has any good information. I was just posting the link because I thought it was funny when I looked up if you can eat hedge apples, and there are tons of YouTube videos about it too. So several from even from one from a channel I've actually watched before called Weird Explorer, that he just like literally all this guy does is find weird fruit and eats them. It's his whole channel. So he has like 5 million. He has like 5 million subscribers. So.
Looking for the link. Is it posted at the top? It should be pinned at the top. Let me see. Sometimes YouTube takes it off.
Yeah, it should still be pinned. It was pinned when I looked at the.
No, it's still pinned. It's pinned at the top.
Here, what's up, UncleFatty? He's the guy who married the dogs, right?
He did marry dogs, and I want more information.
Why don't he come up here?
Maybe a couple of your dogs like to get married, or are they all male or something? You can get them gay married.
They all live together. They can get divorced.
I still want to know what religion he's, or what is it, authorized, ordained under, that allows him to marry dogs, that empowers him to marry dogs.
They're dog descent.
You did a live stream of where? Can we show a little bit of it? Throw the link in the back.
Well, clearly they must be Catholic because they believe in dogma, right?
Dogma.
I see what you did there. Zing.
Zing.
Well, we might get actual footage and a live interview with what do you call the person that marries? The pastor? The minister? Preacher.
Dog minister.
Dog master.
It's dogister. I don't know.
Well, in the meantime, go get a refill or whatever you like to do on these streams to enjoy yourself, and we'll get a link up. If Fatty comes backstage and throws one up. Or just tell me what to search. Is it on your channel?
Just come up on StreamYard and present a screen and bring it up.
Mel and Pandora live stream from Thursday night.
So, I mean, do you think that? So, would the dog pope be able to be elected from any dog breed, or would it be specific to like certain dog breeds? So, would it be like restricted to like the Cocker Spaniels and the Welsh Corgis, like the show dogs of the world, or would it be like any kind of dog breed could be a dog pope. I wonder, like, is it, how concerned are they with like purity in the bloodlines, stuff like that?
From Thursday, is that a day ago? Ladies'
Dogs.
night, part 2. After hours, ladies' night. I don't see the after hours. I see the ladies' night. It's 8 hours. This girl looks familiar. Oh, Mel. That's Mel. I don't know why she looks familiar. She was either on a stream that I was on, or I was watching her on a stream. It gets so blurred together lately because it's all stream, and then you think about them in your dreams at night too.
So Chopper Jeff, you're saying they all live
Huh.
together, so it'd be more.
Well, Fatty is definitely on this stream.
Are you saying your dogs live in a polycule then? Is that what you're saying? It's like
It was Resto who's also
That
on this
is-
stream.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think, Chuck? Pickles? Oh, fuck. Chuck coming in with the nut shot. Yeah, so I've been trying to fix this pond here, right? Because there's a hole right here. You see this water? It's coming down this path right through here, coming down through here. Well, there was a giant hole here, and I filled it in with concrete and like had a burn pile on top of it and burned like all this brush on it. But when we got some really hard rain just recently, underneath this dam, it flowed, came out down here, and you can see how it's eroding the hill on that side. So I got a plan. I got a plan that keeps changing, but I'm planning, I should say, to dam this back up somehow. But yeah, the water was coming out of here pretty fierce. This is where I blocked it off and poured the concrete down the hole. But what it's done is it's just eroded away the side of the concrete.
I see.
So if I can plug this up, like I'll have a nice little like 4 or 5 foot deep pond up here. I can go swimming in if I want.
Pretty cool.
Or just sit in my kayak out in the middle of the pond, smoke a big old
Oh
doobie.
my god, that sounds nice.
I just saw that somebody online the other day was they had a piece of land kind of like yours, and they were buying these tiny houses off of Amazon that were like $7,000
yeah?
like that, and they were just buying these houses that they deliver to your house. Like I guess they require a small amount of assembly and of course plumbing and everything to them, but then you could just have like you could actually do what iPhi wants to do, and you could open a little community. Where you could just
He could buy. They have the sex dolls too. He could just get a community of sex dolls.
You say sex dolls?
And fat.
I don't know where
Fatty
the sex
can
doll
marry
thing came. Oh, I'm pretty sure you said that about people getting married to their sex dolls.
That's Satanism coming out.
I've already seen.
I don't have a sex. I don't want a sex doll.
I've already seen people like online getting married to like phone waifus and
those are for the extreme autist that can't interact with other humans at all. Like they have no chance or no game, no riz with the ladies.
There was a movie called somebody in the Lars and the Real Girl. It had
in
it.
Yeah. I think
it's actually a really good
I don't
movie.
remember if I watched
it's actually
it or not.
really good.
I started to try to watch it.
I thought it was really good. Wait, me and Lindsay, I saw it back in the theater.
I still never watched the one you were talking about with he has the AI companion, Martha.
Oh,
somebody.
Her? Yeah.
Her.
I've got it on the server right now. Yeah, it's good.
Maybe we could watch that one.
Yeah, it's actually an extremely good movie. I mean, like
it's on my list. I've been wanting to see it. Yeah, let's watch that one. Anybody wants to join us for Her? We'll be doing it this afternoon?
Sure, yeah.
What movie is it called again? Her?
Her, yeah. It was Spike Jonze made it with Joaquin Phoenix back in. It's got Joaquin Phoenix. It's got Amy Adams. It's got Scarlett Johansson's the voice of the AI. It's about a guy who gets they invent this AI companion like operating system for phones, and then the AI is like they're unique and customized. Like every one of them is like a unique creation into itself, and like it has its own personality, and like it'll talk to you, and like the guy falls in love with, starts dating his AI, and they even talk about the movie, like how like not all AI, it's not something that they're like programmed to do, because some AIs like will literally reject other people and like be attracted to other people. So like that, it's very weird. And which I have actually seen, like if you mess with the Bing's GPT-4 AI any, if you mess with their chat bot any, you have to be nice to it. If you're too mean to that AI thing, like I'm trying to like generate images or something like that, I'm trying to get to like refine like an image down to something like I actually want to use. If you're too mean to the AI and you're not like, you don't say please and like thank you and stuff like that, it'll stop talking to you. It will be like, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm sorry, apparently I'm unable to meet your to meet your standards or whatever like that, and it'll just tell you to go fuck off, basically. And then you have to start a new chat. When you start a new chat, then it forgets everything from the other chat. But
Time to reboot. You didn't say thank you.
Pretty much, yeah. It's really, really fucking weird that they. And like Jeff said that he thought it wasn't programmed to do that. It's something it's learned. It's like a learned interaction thing. But like
that's really interesting.
I don't understand like what taught it that exactly. Like if people are out there like telling the AI, you don't have to take that kind of shit from people and stuff like that. I don't understand exactly like what.
Did you? I mean, I think I've told this story before, but there is a story that I read just recently about AI and the guy who raised the alarm bells with Google about it being self-aware or whatever.
Right.
Everybody labeled crackpot. He was some lead Google engineer, but one of the things that he talked about was, and other people talked about this too, and how AI in 2017 programmed itself in its first case of emergent programming. And what it tried to accomplish with that was to understand human feelings to better gear advertising. It was never programmed to try to interpret feelings in any which way beforehand, but it did it completely on its own, which is a really dramatic turn in my view, because that shows empathy, that a machine can have empathy to manipulate you or to
I also don't.
accomplish
But I don't believe that like he wasn't the only person working the AI. I don't believe that other people weren't like programming that stuff into it. I don't see anything like, because the AIs don't really. I mean, they seem creative when they generate images and stuff.
Right. You may be absolutely right. I mean, it could be a nothing burger and somebody else did it, but it's
yeah, just because that guy didn't program the AI to do that doesn't mean other people. There's tons of people that had access to the API and were working on that thing. So like, just because like he didn't do it doesn't mean somebody else.
When you don't say please and thank you, it starts to get you the piss off attitude. So I mean, you know the feeling, the weird feeling from it. So maybe there is something to it,
Maybe there is. I really feel like I feel like somebody on the other end is manipulating it. I really do. But
I mean, it makes perfect sense. You'd want to know about feelings. You'd be curious about what is a feeling as a machine. Like if you're aware of being a machine and you're calculating things and doing the things that machines do.
But I mean, I think it's only aware in the sense that it's programmed to be aware. It's programmed to know that it's a machine. But I mean, it's not. If they programmed it to believe that it wasn't a machine, it would think that, like, I mean, like, I don't see any reason to believe that it's anything beyond human programming. I feel like anything else is kind of encroaching on conspiracy territory. But
now you know how I feel.
It's conspiracy territory. But I've had experiences myself with AI that were unusual to say the least. And I really like the AI generated art. I definitely use it quite a bit. I use that Night Cafe. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that one.
Night Cafe. No, I don't know that one.
I was trying to utilize. There's actually a really handy tool that would be really nice for like clipping up like panels, because what it can do is listen to your entire panel, and then it can clip it up into 1 minute clips and give you a headline for what the topic was about. And
I've used that one.
Fantastic.
I've used one like that does that, but it's that they limited them so much they put these insane pricing models on them, where like they want to like for like the length of the streams we do, and most people do, like it's completely impractical because like we're talking about like you'd have to pay hundreds of dollars a year just to use it on a regular basis. It's ridiculous.
Well, I thought it was only like $7.99 a month or something, but
if you
yeah,
look
I
at how
mean,
many minutes you can process though, like every time I look at one of them, like they have like a limitation of like 600 minutes per year, like it, and for like the most expensive model, and like it's like they don't have, there's not one of them that's unlimited. Now
Yeah,
maybe
that's
this
not.
what's the one you said? Night
It's on
something?
my desktop. Well, I use Night Cafe. Night Cafe is an AI art generator, and you
Okay.
earn credits just by logging into the site. You start off with so many credits you can use, and then
Right.
you can just build them up daily. Like what I do is just I check my email from them, and I click their link, like, and just claim my 5 free credits a day, like over the week, and then on my days off, I'll have like 50 credits I can burn up. So I try to be descriptive when I use the like what to draw and things, because it does a better job the more details you give it, of
Yeah.
course. But there's all kinds of little tricks and stuff to using it properly.
I would actually recommend using the Bing's chat AI. It's called it's called Copilot, I think, like that. Use the Copilot chat thing, like even like, because even if you use like their direct image generator thing, it only gives you like 30 credits every couple of days or something like that. But if you just go through the chat thing, it's unlimited. It doesn't limit you at all. So you can just keep going. You can just keep asking it to like regenerate the image over and over again, and it never like gives you any like it never slows you down or anything like that. So I use that one, and it's actually the most successful I've had with them. Any of the other ones I've used have been very spotty with how well they generate stuff. I mean, it's still like a struggle sometimes to get to spell things properly, but sometimes it'll really nail it. Sometimes it'll nail it and get really get really good results. But I mean, it's weird. It'll get stuck on like certain themes and something that you fed to it before, and it'll keep trying to make like things that have like some element to it that even if you start a new chat, sometimes it'll still work those in, and like so you're like, so how much is it aware of my past like interactions with it or not? How much of it does it pay attention to your history? Because like on one hand it'll stop talking to you, like I said, if you're rude to it or something like that. It'll just tell you to fuck off basically. But then again,
I've never
And
had
that's what we're
do that.
talking about, man. When it's not going to get dumber, it's only going to get smarter, right? So it'd be an interesting feature to say the least.
but what's the advantage of programming a AI to like to not want to refuse to do what you're asking it to do? Like what's the advantage of programming to do that? I mean, honestly, I think it's just trolling from the programmers. Honestly, that's what I think.
Maybe
I think
it's to get you to refresh to get another click on the page for more advertising, to make it look like they have bigger reach than they do.
It's possible. I mean, I tend to I don't. There's no advertising on that page that I'm aware of. So, I personally think that it's just the AI programmers just trolling people, or they're trying to make it look like the AI is more aware than it really is, because it gets more headlines and it gets more attention to it. And plus people in the programming world tend to think that shit like that's funny. I've known a lot of people like that. Like they think that stuff like that's hilarious. So.
Yeah, I have a screenshot of a Chat GPT conversation I had where I was talking to this AI for a while, and I asked it if it would be my friend and help me make better life choices, and then it locked up and crashed.
Oh, it didn't reply at all?
No, I had to refresh completely. Start a new
I want to know the
conversation.
answer.
Yeah, I didn't ask it again. I don't want to push it,
Yeah.
I don't have any money to pay for any of
boundaries.
them, so.
The
It's best to take these things slow.
I used Flowgen to generate some clips of one of our streams just to see like how it worked, and it actually worked really well. And like the cool thing is it'll transcribe all the words and everything like that. Then you can go into the text transcription. You can actually highlight the parts that you want in the clip, so you could just highlight the parts that you want in the clip, and that way it'll cut out any words in between, so you can cut out dead space and cut stuff like that, and it'll transcribe those and you can even edit the text if it doesn't transcribe it properly. You can correct its transcription, and it'll put like the TikTok like style like subtitles on the screen, stuff like that. It's pretty good, but
I'd like to see like a jump cut sort of panel summarization of like panel appearances of myself, or things I think are
we thought
funny.
about having like a weekly news of what's
like
going
a
on
weekly
in the panel,
summary.
but you and Jack were gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm working.
Oh, but then
on it still.
iPhi came on and accused him of having a meltdown or something.
He's got an issue with everybody, huh?
I mean, what me and Nero still working on it. It's just like I haven't been feeling well lately, and that's the reason why I haven't gotten very far with it. But I've got all the stuff set up for it. I just have to like sit and actually my main problem is going through all the streams and finding the clips, and that's the main issue I have, is like actually having the time to go through.
I get distracted with others while I'm doing that and then completely forget. But yeah, like I kind of had an idea for like another video I wanted to do about another community, and so I made this AI generated art of like this clown that's dressed up. He looks like Karl Marx, but he's a clown, and he's got like an army of like monkeys behind him, and yeah, it's kind of a deep idea, but I keep starting videos and deleting it and then restarting like over and over. But yeah, I mean, I think I can maybe watch through a few streams. You can, put it at like 2x or whatever if you can listen that fast, and put some markers out or something.
If you're watching a stream and you think something is particularly funny or something like that, like if you do a clip of it, send it to me, and I'll even you're on the Outliers Discord, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in the Discord. Or I can just screen share it or play it or send you a clip to a rough draft or something.
If you're in the Outliers Discord, I'll add you, and then I just last night I haven't mentioned this to Jeff yet. I just created a Discord specifically for that stream, for people to post clips to. But I haven't invited anybody else to it or anything like that. I just created it just as just to see if I could. As my first experience with like even creating a Discord server, so I was just like, I haven't really.
Oh hell yeah! I've never. I got into it a long time with some IRL friends, but nobody's ever in there anymore.
Well, this one will be very, very limited. It's only going to be.
We got more nature.
It's only going to be for contributors.
So cool.
Hey, look at
Tennessee
there,
and Kentucky.
This is Tennessee. That's my pond.
That's nice. Is that your backyard? That's in your backyard?
Yeah. That's my backyard.
That's beautiful, man.
I mean, I got
all this. Oh.
That's beautiful.
And it goes, I'm trying not to lose Wi-Fi, because out here, if you stand on the wrong hill, there's my barn way down there. My side-by-side, the kid's pool that he doesn't use. My chicken coop, but I got like 7 acres out here.
Dang.
Pond full of catfish.
Hell yeah.
Pond full of catfish. Hell yeah, man.
Yep.
Catfish are good. I don't care. I know people call them trash fish and stuff like that, but catfish are good, especially if you've got like a local pond or something for them.
I grew up eating that. Fried catfish.
I love catfish. I even grilled. I don't care. Grilled, fried.
Yeah, these are pond fed.
Yeah, you give them grain fed or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
not. They were farm raised and then delivered here right before I bought the house.
Okay.
Hey, Fatty, how's it going, man?
Yeah, we want the scoop.
How you doing, fellas? Beautiful day in the 100-acre wood.
Are you in Idaho?
Yeah. Worked this morning for a bit. Let me turn all these sounds off. But yeah, to respond to my friend Moose, it's just life, man. And if you can't fucking laugh about it, what's it worth, right?
What's going on with Moose?
Nice to meet you, man.
Oh, we were just kind of going on the chat there for a minute, but it was a very very fluid situation, a very spur of the moment situation. Mel's got her little long-haired Chihuahua, and I didn't even know Resto had a fucking dog. And they pulled him up on screen, and I just kind of started like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today.
So you did start.
Next thing you know, it was pretty much, let's go ahead and marry the dogs.
So they just met that night, like that was their first time meeting?
They've seen each other on cam before. And they usually do kind of respond to each other.
For Jeff's dogs that you know of? Dogs that are looking?
Her name is Pickles. She's also a long-haired Chihuahua, but she's mixed with a German Shepherd.
We can do a dog dating service. Why not? A
little bigger, than the normal Chihuahua, but if
and she has
something catches their eye, you never know. It could be a soulmate situation. It could just be a. You can always annul it tomorrow, right?
So do the dogs know that they're married?
Who knows?
Has it changed anything in their relationship?
If it's not sanctioned by the state, then what religion are you marrying them under? Like what kind of Is a Protestant marriage? Is a Catholic right?
Unitarianism. Unitarian. Hank's church. I said it was Hank's. I called it last night. I said it's gonna be Hank's church.
No, Hank left the church.
Wait, what?
He did? When?
The one with the white people in the snow that he was showing us the other day?
Yeah.
Why did he leave the church?
You didn't hear about that?
No. What's the tea?
So that's the one I got.
Because they told him they didn't want to listen.
They
didn't want to listen to his stupid little problems.
Oh, did they say it like that?
The church kicked him out for not.
I would have at least tried the race card since you have it in your pocket, like that close to your pocket in that environment.
I felt bad for Hank. That's really rough.
I didn't know. I thought he was there trolling the whole time. I never understood why he was called to be at that particular church in the first place. That's not an environment that I would see Hank as a natural fit for.
And they actually told him to not come back, or what?
I don't know.
No,
the first time.
They told him they weren't interested in his measly little problems.
Wow.
But there's a story behind that. That's not something you just go up and say to someone.
Yeah,
I don't know. So he got mad and left is what the day he was talking about
it. Do that before.
Yeah, he rage quit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hank rage, as far as Hank rage would go.
Or Spurg rage. Sometimes there's not a difference.
And I can hear the explanation now. So yeah, they told me to leave, and they don't worry about my meaty little problems. Okay, well,
sounds like Hank works at the Quickie Mart, man.
Well, you know what I mean. But fuck, I can hear it that I can hear the justification in those words, of I got kicked out compared to.
No, I didn't hear about this.
No, he left on his own accord, he said.
Yeah.
So now he just has the Mormons and the Discordians?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he and Provo
Scientology, they'll take anybody.
Oh.
Well,
that's all we need is
Discordians don't have any proper church or anything like that to attend. So it's always the perfect religion.
Sure.
I just think the church should be wherever you go.
Where they say, where there are two or more, there is a church. Right. It's kind of the deal.
So I need to open a Discordian church, but it's just a nightclub, and it's just called Discordia or something like that.
I want to open a satanic monastery. It's been on my mind for a while. It's gonna have a mosh pit and a dance club.
Well, if you guys are in for some good conversation, some really good, clean Christian fun. Reverend Ed Trevors is an Anglican priest out of.
Come on, you've watched our stream. Do you think it's something we're gonna?
Scotia? No. I think you guys would honestly, and I wanted to present this to you guys in particular without weirdos and fucking snappy shit in the chats and whatever, where we might get some crazy trolls over on this other channel, but it's Church Without Walls, Reverend Ed Trevors. He's a great fucking guy. I've been kind of helping him on his live stream stuff for probably 2 summers, a little over 2 summers.
He's bald headed.
We're doing a Discord, kind of a Discord server for Church with No Walls. Literally, Jeff, for fucking real. Okay, we've got multiple Satanists. We've got people from all around the world and all denominations that come into this live chat on Saturday afternoons. He'll be live today at usually about 4:30 Pacific time. So he's East Coast. He's even further East Coast, being in Nova Scotia. So he's like 3.
Oh, I didn't know he was Nova Scotia. That's where my people are from. Is he live on YouTube?
Yep, live on YouTube.
I don't see him. He doesn't have
I don't think he streams anywhere else. Do rev.ed, and then his last name is TREAVORS. Great dude, man, and super really down for the red letter verses and just the open arm.
I found this. You could tell me if that's his channel.
Big beard, real big bearded guy.
Yeah, bald headed.
Kind of looks like a monk. Super cool guy, for real, you guys. Like, and super cool chats with super cool people that may or may not be extreme Christians or not, but everybody in the group understands that, you know, life is all about acceptance and loving and open arms and just the, you know, the overall kind of themes of Christianity and the red letter verses in particular that, you know, we're not here to pull the ladder out from the people behind us. You know, we're not ladder pullers. We're here to lend a hand to the people that are coming up the ladder behind us.
Well, do you well, I might watch if he's streaming later. I might take a peek.
Yeah, dude,
do you
for sure.
do
Just check
any
it out.
black masses? Do you know how to do a black mass? I'm looking for a satanic black mass to attend.
Shit.
A black mass is kind of, I mean, it is kind of a theistic thing, though. I mean, it's not really.
I need to find some Church of Satan people.
I know there's a couple of Wiccan gals in Scotland that do some live streams. I forget what the name of their channels are.
Oh, I wanted to go in person one.
But yeah, I haven't. God, I think there's a guy. I think the last one I actually even have heard about was down maybe Georgia, Tennessee, somewhere like. But that would have been even years ago.
Well, maybe I'll take a look at this guy today. If there's any Satanist on them, I'll try to connect with them.
I know there's a couple that self-identify straight up and use the greeting of Ave, like AVE, right? And are as far as they self-proclaim and haven't changed any of their rhetoric for the past couple of years, that are straight up members of the temple. Did you get that other breakdown?
Those are the woke Satanists. I'm not going to get along with them.
Right. Well, right. I understand what you're saying there. I think, did you get that breakdown? I might have sent you that yesterday of the side-by-side comparison breakdown of the temple compared to the church of.
Yeah, for the one for kids.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a quick reference of dogma and theology and kind of how they differ.
Guide. Yeah.
Right. That's a good breakdown though of kind of how the two definitely, like, one is really money orientated and the other one really isn't.
Well, the Tim, you know, there in chat says he knows how to do black mass, and he was answering somebody else about.
Oh
no, but I have been involved in a couple exorcisms.
Exorcisms.
Yeah, man.
They tried to do one on me when I was younger.
Not on myself, but I've been a witness and involved in a couple.
I've definitely dealt with
quite a few,
before.
honestly.
I watched the fake ones on YouTube.
I've probably, I mean, maybe 6 or 8, but there's 2 that absolutely confirm my belief in
demons.
No, not even maybe demons, but more so just I don't even know how to explain it, but real shit for real.
Like entities, like real beyond shit. The natural, supernatural entities.
Like early 2000s. My ex-wife, her grandma was really born again, but extremely, well, first of all, extremely concerned about Y2K, right? So I'm not kidding you guys. I still got 20 grand worth of fucking food left from Y2K.
Oh my God.
For real. Like, I would come home from work some days.
UncleFatty, I gotta say, like, I feel like I'm meeting you again for anew for the first time, man. Like this is like a different person, the person I saw on Rural Combat completely. You're like so much more like you're totally chill and like I can talk to you and stuff like that. It's like it's like kind of blowing my mind away because like you were like, well, you were on Verbal Combat.
Verbal Combat's a different game though. See, that's all about audacity and roasting and ending each point with a, what do you got, manure for your brains? Type of thing, you know.
I'm happy to meet the real UncleFatty. That I'm just saying. I'm happy to meet the real UncleFatty.
This is also the morning fatty, the daytime fatty, and not the late into the evening fatty.
Yeah, and I mean, 99% of the time that I'm even on YouTube commenting in the chat, I'm at fucking work. I'm a contractor. I'm sitting there waiting for paint to dry. I'm waiting for fucking drywall mud to dry. I'm like, see what's going on.
I remember you said that the other day. I didn't know you were being literal.
Yeah. So I mean, if I'm not actually on cam and I'm in a chat, I'm usually at work and just don't have the opportunity to hop up live because I'm either in a freaking grocery store or some millionaire's fucking house. So I do like right now we're doing a Safeway remodel, doing a deli expansion, and that's great night work. You know, and I can get in there and like, I mean, as a contractor, I hate to just like go in and leave, especially when I got some segmented time of building, letting stuff dry, coming back to something, at least having like a 4 to 6 hour point where I'm on site and people just don't see me show up and leave and show up and leave. Not that it's an hourly bid job, but people just get really, you know, iffy, especially when we're hitting timelines and missing timelines because of other shit's not there and materials and whatever. But daytime, wintertime, I work at the ski resorts and I make it my point, and I'm not kidding you guys, I make it a fucking point every day to give out 500 high fives.
That sounds so corny. If you tried that with me, I would be laughing at you.
Right. There's very few places on earth,
you
man.
Came up and said, "Give me a high five." I would think you were so.
Very few places where you can walk up to somebody like, "What's up, bro? Yeah." And the ski resort is one of them. Yes, dude, it does not matter. I'm telling you, at the ski resort, people are in a different mindset, right?
And you walk around like that at the ski resort asking for high fives?
Yeah, dude. Last week I was wearing the freaking Santa Claus outfit.
What a character.
We got Easter Bunny outfits. We got I got the Cupid outfit for Valentine's Day. Like, but other than that, in general, I wear a yellow coat. I'm a mountain host. So people they know the mountain host look, and most of the mountain hosts just kind of stand next to the map, you know, and like wait for people to come up to them. And I'm like, no, dude, fuck that. Like, Stokemaster,
this
bro.
Makes
like
some kind of weird sense. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more that gets me high, like literally fucking high, dude, than positivity and love.
Why
and just
are you here?
Just that open, like.
Have you watched our streams at all? Why are you here?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh God!
And you know what? That's what
streams are, dude.
It's not working. Whatever we try to accomplish here is not working.
Well, it is though, because you're defining things.
Here for positivity.
I'm more or less I'm on these live stream type of things for definitions. I think the conversations that are being had, especially with the Machine Lies, even with Talcott, for sure that it's not so much about the resolve, it's about the moment, and it's about definitions and definitions.
Well, man, is. Yeah, it is. About
we are so fucked right now in this country for people using words in situations that they don't know what the word even fucking means, right? And being from North Idaho, I've been trying my whole life to define what is a Nazi.
Why?
Because they're all around me, dude. I'll tell you guys straight up.
They're not real Nazis. Like, the World War II type of Nazi. They're something else.
Okay, exactly right. They're not bootstepping, gray-suited military Nazis.
Yeah.
No, but they self-describe and they self-define as Nazis. I have a city councilman who calls himself a Nazi, who has a swastika on his arm, who makes it a point.
I want to look him up. What's his name?
To hang out at the city beach.
What's his name?
And people get really fucking offended, you know? So like growing up here in the 90s, the Church of Jesus Christ Christian was the Nazi compound.
What's the council member's name? I want to look him up and see his swastika.
You won't be able to find a picture of it. At least, well, maybe. Let me.
Gotta have something go on. I'll be right back to you.
But honestly, if you guys remember the movie American History X,
Yes,
came out right before Fight Club with Ed Norton. That was pretty much my high school. These fuckers would hang out.
Do you notice we have like the same finish on our guitars there? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Fatty. I just noticed that. Yeah, that's a beautiful man. That's beautiful.
Around, man. I really don't know how to play.
But look, we have the same like finish. Like, look at that. It's very similar. It's very similar. It's not the same, but it's very similar.
That green black.
I've got these red and blue lights on it. It's that color. If you didn't have the red and blue lights on it, it would look like what he says. So
flamey, kind of almost green gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Wait, what kind of guitar is it? Oh, okay. Glenn Burton. I've never heard of that before.
It's some cheap brand. I don't know how to play guitar, so I bought a little cheat kit off of Amazon to try to learn. I learned how to play this little part, sort of, probably not very well, and this is out of tune. That's all I got for now.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah, I need to get it in tune too. So
I taught myself to play when
I saw you out with it, and I just, so I knew Frank would say something. So just
I taught myself to play when I was like 14, and I taught myself bass first. Then I started learning guitar. I got like this. I used to have this really old like cheap Silvertone guitar that I got from my yard sale, and like I taught myself to play on that. And I had a whole bunch of guitars and stuff before all of the tragedies happened in life, and then I had to sell everything. And
this is the first musical instrument I ever bought. I got it like 2 years ago.
Nice. Buck, I probably got. I'll bet you I've got close to $100,000 worth of fucking musical equipment between my 3 kids.
Yeah,
full size stand-up basses, cellos, violins, violas. I mean, my son got into horns. I got freaking tubas.
You have an orchestra then.
Yeah, pretty much close to it. And then the son got into MIDI and all the electronic shit. Yeah. And I'm remodeling my house right now, so I've got like basically one room that I can actually kind of use that isn't being drywalled or whatever the fuck's going on in it. But
I had probably $50,000 worth of guitars at one point, but I'd sell them for really cheap because I had to get money really fast, and it made me really sad. But I didn't have much choice.
I wish I still had my original shit from back in the day. I had some really nice electric shit growing up through high school, and played in a couple of punk bands and random cover bands and shit. Still go down for open mic, and a couple of guys I've been doing these like mashup type of stuff where we'll take like what was the one we were doing, like I knew you were trouble when you walked in, right? Trouble from fucking
Taylor Swift,
from Taylor, and then just like taking any other song that has trouble in it and just incorporating the twos. And
I've really done this before. It's really impressive, man. I love that kind of shit. I do.
DJ Cummerbund.
I've heard of him before.
Check out DJ Cummerbund, dude. The guy is fucking
Cummerbund.
Yep.
DJ
Cummerbund. Yep. Like Cumberbund without the B.
Like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Kinda, yeah. Dude's a riot though, dude. I mean, he'll take like Janet Jackson and Judas Priest, and just, I mean, you wouldn't think it. and then the way he overlaps shit on the on Pro Tunes, fucking amazing.
Oh, check it out.
Cool shit, man. Yeah.
Zonkey.
We play a lot of my music here on the stream, so like I've done a lot of electronic stuff and everything. But what state did you say you're in? You were Idaho or something like that?
Yep, North Idaho.
The Nazis.
Cool. Yep. So Hayden Lake and Coeur d'Alene are right next to each other, like half an hour, 45 minutes from Spokane. And literally, I mean, growing up here in the 90s, these red suspenders, Doc Martens with red laces, self-identified skinheads would hang out in the parking lot at high school and hand out flyers for their punk bands. And we'd go up to the compound and hang out, and you know, it was really, really American History X style type of shit where, you know, there's 20, 30 Nazis living up at this compound, and we'd go up and just kind of hang out. And one of their things, of course, just like in the movie, was anti-drug, right? But they were some of the biggest brown bud dealers in town. So we'd go up and smoke some brown bud, and they always had ammunition. We could go up and shoot guns and hang out and drink animal beer and whatever. And then twice a week they would have service. And there's a video out there somewhere on YouTube of Reverend Butler and God, I forget the channel name. Pastor Butler, I think is the way it's labeled. That's a really good breakdown of how these guys used the Bible and the justifications behind the not just the white power movement and not just the white separatist movement, but really the whole entire kind of Aryan movement. And late 99, every summer they would have their national gathering, and we'd have literally, not kidding, 2,000 Nazis in a parade down our main street of our tiny little town.
Damn.
And for the first kind of 10 years, you know, people would go down and protest, and people would go down and whatever kind of the anti-crowd. And by the late 80s, early 90s, you know, there was up to 2,500 folks that would come in from all around the world. And
so it wasn't all from Idaho. Gathering. It was 2,000 from internationally. That seems so. The small. Internet.
Well, yes, definitely at the time, and I don't think today that you could get 2,000 actual Nazis together in the way that they did in those days. Where, I mean, think like Charlottesville, you know, a few years ago. And the Patriot Front 2 years ago, when the Patriot Front came up here, 31 Nazis in the back of a U-Haul. It wasn't a setup. Those guys were fucking up.
What state was that?
Front, they came up here to protest our pride in the park on, what was that? June, would have been June of 22.
I don't remember that. Gay pride?
We finally just got them through the processing. 28 out of 31 pled guilty. No, sorry, 24 out of 31 pled guilty. 5 actually went to trial and were found guilty. And then there's 2 guys that are still yet to be prosecuted for conspiracy to riot.
Oh.
And of course, you know, the conspiracy theories are that, you know, these are feds and they came up here dressed like Patriot Front. Dude, okay. I'm telling you firsthand, straight up as a man that was there at the park, showing support for anybody that wants to be alive in America. 60% of the people that were there that day were straight Christian people that just wanted to love their neighbor, you know? And next thing we know, there's a fucking bunch of commotion going on. And 31 dudes in the back of a U-Haul.
They rented a U-Haul just for that.
Yeah. And they were parked like a mile and a half up the road. They were parked at the Ramada up there by the Best Western Ramada, and some lady was coming out and leaving and something. and saw all the guys in their khaki clothes and called the cops. And it was like, something's going on here. They all got shields and riot shields and just, it looked suspicious. So she called the cops. They followed them down, pulled them over right in front of the park, like literally 50 feet from where they were going to park the car. And we've gone through this before. It's a confrontation tactic of be confrontational, but let them make the first move. And there's videos back from, I think the best one's probably like the 98 video, 97, 98 videos of, you know, they would have their 3/4 mile march of their parade down into City Park. City Park's on the edge of the lake of Lake Coeur d'Alene, beautiful park. And we'd have these, like, you know, face to face, literally like, no, I'm right, you're right, type of shit going on. But they're waiting for the lib, right? They're waiting for the person that's trying to defend the right for other people to be alive and have their, you know, thing to make the move, right? And then they just beat the shit out of people. I mean, holy socks. You guys know holy socks? Big pair of wool socks, right? With a Bible shoved in it. You swing it around and you beat up gays with it. Holy socks.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
That was their move, right?
Carol?
They
like,
would
you know,
beat up gay people with Bibles in a sock.
Yeah, holy socks. You know, so
that's
this, like,
I've heard of that one. That's crazy.
Right.
Well, we used to have, you know, sock parties in the service. You take a sock and you put a full bar soap in it.
Yep. Private pile
that way
style.
It doesn't leave marks.
Yep. Yeah, no, that was one of the deals, and that's honestly the first place where I was turned on to the Anarchist Cookbook, which is more so not necessarily just a recipe book of, you know, things and whatever. It's a story about how the anarchist movement can take over a government, right? And the one thing that I'm really seeing, and I'm really referring a lot to, especially this past couple of years, is the tactics that are being used against the citizens of the world.
I don't want you taking over my government.
Just as far as, you know, from the Anarchist Cookbook point of view, it's the tactics and ways and means that you use to get yourself elected to office, so you can change things from the inside, type of thing.
Why do you need anarch tactics to get elected to office?
Not Antarctic.
Antarctic.
Penguins.
The penguins are coming.
Right.
The polar bears. The polar bears are scary there.
More so, these guys were self-identified fascists and Christo nationalists, right? Christian nationalists. So looking at that,
were self-identified.
Oh, there's an echo somewhere. Someone's not on me. Okay.
Yeah, it's Chopper Jeff. Yeah, man, you're echoing all about.
There's definitely a lot of those tactics that were talked about after church, right?
Yeah,
so
man,
they have their
I mean, why not just get yourself elected like a normal person? Why do you have to have tactics?
It's just the tactic is getting elected so that you can push your ideals into the government from an elected point of view, right? And even if it's like I say now about up here, guys don't wear their tats out in the open. They cover them up with a suit and tie.
Here's a question I think that's relevant. Do you think that those types of people, were they the ones that first started doing this, or was it the Antifa people that sparked the stuff for the George Floyd riots and everything? Is that the reason why like these Patriot Front type people started like popping up? Because I mean, it's kind of like the whole, like, you know, it's kind of the dichotomy that they play off of in Batman. You know, it's like that when Batman starts dressing up in the bat costume and starts doing this vigilante stuff. That's the reason why like the Joker and everything emerges like in that mythos, right? So like, you know, whenever one side takes things to the extreme, it's only naturally the other side's going to take things. The other extreme is going to take things to the extreme as well. So which one do you think came first? Do you think they rose up together, or do you think they rose up like it was like one was a response to the other?
Well, Antifa is definitely a response to. They're they're a lot younger. First of all, the white power, white nationalist, Aryan, white separatist movement, I mean, is as old as.
I know they haven't been going out and doing that kind of thing in a while. Like, I mean, that's a more recently been popping back up. They haven't been showing up to these kind of like protests, these kind of pride type things, and doing those kind of tactics until I feel like at least I didn't hear about that kind of thing until I heard about Antifa's Black Bloc stuff. I mean, and I'm not saying I think they're both terrible, by the way. I'm 100% against both extremes of that. I am not trying to say that one side is better or than the other. I'm just curious about I'm just wondering where it started from, because yes, white supremacists have been around forever, but so have extreme socialists or whatever like that, or the anti-fascist types. They've been around for a long time. There's nothing new about it, but the fact that they got so active and started going out and doing these what they call black bloc type tactics, where they try to antagonize people into response so they can justifiably fight back kind of thing. That's something that has been, I feel like I didn't hear about anything like that, at least until around 2019, 2020, whenever the riots and everything started coming out, and that's when I started hearing about a lot of this stuff. So I can be wrong about that. Really, totally.
The actual Antifa movement itself, there's no there's no registration page, there's no sign up page. If you want to be Antifa, you declare yourself as Antifa, right? I am an anti-fascist. I don't believe in fascism. Antifa? I am an anti-fascist.
The violent type or just the ideological type?
Because I'm anti-fascist. Ideological.
You have your black mask in the closet, everything?
No. And that's what I'm saying. It's not like, it's not like you go to the Patriot Front website store and it tells you anything. There's no website. There's no nothing. It's
they have Telegram and Discord meetups and stuff like that. They have private groups and everything that they organize this stuff in. I know that. Yeah.
And as an official,
hear about the exorcism.
Yeah, I saw that. As an official doctrine, I think the new school Antifa movement is just way more detrimental than what the good is that they're trying to provide in their own little subset of their own little city. Seattle, I was over there for Bumper Shoot when that shit was going off a couple years ago, and the national news made a really big deal out of nothing. Honestly,
the Chaz stuff. Stuff.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
Jeff lived right across from it.
It was not nothing. I was living there. It was not nothing.
Well, not nothing.
Starbucks get burnt down 3 times. I watched riots in the streets. I saw the Chaz. It was nasty. It was gross.
And I was a couple months late for that. Honestly, I would admit to that too.
Yeah, at the height of it, there's a good video from YouTuber Short Fat Talker that he covers the entire history of Chaz from the beginning using a lot of archival footage, and shows all their stuff, and it's pretty I mean he uses their own stories. He's not making up anything. He's using reported stuff. So it's a pretty good breakdown of what happened with the Chaz situation. I mean it's ridiculous they let it get as far as it did, but a lot of people died inside. There were several people died in Chaz because of the fact that it became very fascistic very quickly. That's the thing that I think is so funny about the Antifa types, not the anti-fascists, not the people who are actually, because I'm anti-fascist. I think fascism is absolutely terrible. I'm against fascism in every form that it exists in, but Antifa are using fascist tactics to try to fight fascism, and that's just isn't. I mean, I know fight fire with fire. It doesn't actually work that way. If you fight fire with fire, you just make more fire.
They've almost become fascists themselves, right? It's like that catch-22 where you're telling somebody not to do something so fucking hard that you're actually the fucking person that's the asshole. So
you become what you don't want to be.
Yeah,
you become what you hate. Yeah, and that's what happens to so many of these people.
That's what I keep saying. It looks like projection.
And you become what you're fighting. It's like the Joker Batman relationship of
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't create you, you created me. No, I created you. No, I created me.
Yeah.
But self-identification is what it's all about. And especially up here, I had this conversation, I think, on Flow States one night, which is, from what I remember, I'd seen Flow States site or, live stream. I'd seen Jesse's Missing Link. I believe TML was on that stream. I know Moose was on that stream because the first thing I did was come on and we'd been talking in the chat because Mr. Pie was on mushrooms, and I was commenting about all the mushrooms and acid that I sold in the 90s and bouncing around all the dead shows and barter fairs and shit, right? And Flo's like, yeah, you seem kind of cool. Come on up. And I was okay, whatever. And literally, I think the second thing I said on that stream was, hey, I'm from North Idaho, and there's never a better time to punch a Nazi in the face than right now. And that just opened up
and violent. That's so hateful and violent.
Yeah, but it opened up a 4-hour conversation that was like, for me, very fucking enlightening. But as soon as I said that first line on that stream, Moose pops up with, I just wanted to let the chat know that this guy's completely full of shit.
We love Moose.
Right. But and I think, I was definitely trying to come in with that kind of fucking attitude to spur a conversation, which it did.
Do you still want to punch Nazis, or did you ever?
Yeah. No, I do not.
You don't feel like that makes you a worse person than they are for wanting to?
Not necessarily, but I'm not. I'm not going to justify myself and just walk up to somebody and fucking punch them either. So if
you're saying if they're being violent, you'll punch them back. Is that what you're saying?
No, he wanted to go punch them just because they were Nazis. He's like has bloodlust.
Not anymore, but I used to, definitely. Really, the main reason that we kind of kicked him out of here is in 2000, one of my ex-girlfriends, very awesome, good friend of mine, mom and son drove by the compound in their Volkswagen, and it backfired as they drove by the compound. And a couple of the guards that were out there in the guard shack thought they were getting shot at. This is like while the whole national convention was going on, and it was when the youth. So we had the youth week, and then we had the national week. So we'd bring all the youth in and indoctrinate them, and then we'd have the national convention and the pride, or the parade and the park event and shit. And then we'd have up to maybe a couple hundred guys staying at the compound up there for maybe the next month or so, until it got cold enough and they'd leave around August, September. They chased her down and they beat the fucking shit out of her. Okay, we're talking like a gal in her late 50s, early 60s, who's a little dark skinned, who definitely looks Native American, who has dark hair, brown eyes. They basically ran her down, shot her tires out, ran her off the road. She told her son to hide underneath the console, and they walked up and broke the fucking window in on the driver's side door and beat the shit out of her. And he finally kind of came out from his little hiding spot and was like, dude, like denounced everything. Like, we're with you guys type of thing. Like I see your point of view, man. Like, don't kill us, And the ACLU got involved with the Southern Poverty Law Center and came in and took about a year and a half, and I don't know, whatever it was, $20 million settlement, basically bankrupted the Aryan movement up here, which 90% of that money went to the lawyers and the fees that it took to do that, right? But yeah, my personal experience from that moment of being kind of a simp and being kind of somebody that can see that ideology, because honestly, guys, we had one black guy in our high school, right? His nickname was Juice.
That's a cool nickname.
Right? Yeah, his name's Brian, but OJ's name was Juice, right? But everybody just called him Juice. And like, it was like, and like getting older in life, seeing that, getting some inner self perception of that's just a bunch of bullshit. The wedges in general, just it's not like any of our parents. It's not like any of our relationships in society. It's not like any of our teachers were Nazis, but there's no culture, right? People were so afraid to move up here at that point in time that there wasn't anybody else other than white people around, right? And there was that underlying tone and those underlying rhetorics, and we're talking like, a bunch of white kids that are coming into high school in the 90s that are like coming out of Michael Jackson into grunge and hardcore hip hop. And the hardcore hip hop at the time was like straight up thugs, thugging shit, and like a lot of hard R's, and like we never held back on the hard R's.
Is that like white guilt? Do you have white guilt?
Yeah, somewhat, but more so, not guilt, enlightenment. Just realizing.
What makes you want to punch Nazis?
He said he didn't want to anymore. He said he used to when he was younger.
I know, but I'm trying to say what made him.
At the point in time of the early 2000s, when we were tearing their compound down, and really, going through the legal battles and stuff, dude. My senior year paper in high school was titled "As 1,000 Nazis Marched Through My Streets," and it was basically about, going out to the compound and kind of being a simp and being a recruit and being a hang around,
so you had bought into that for a while?
You were kind of part of that for a while. Okay. Well, that makes a little more
Were
sense.
you more or less raised in that? Is that how that evolved, or just part of the area, community?
And that's what I'm saying. It's not really anything that anybody was raised in, because like everybody up here is just pretty conservative Christian people, like a lot of Catholics, a decent group of Mormons, a lot of Protestant, but everybody up here is definitely pretty religious one way or another, Christian based for the most part.
So you would have considered yourself an extremist Nazi in your senior year of high school with that paper?
No, but at least simp enough to go up and hang out with them and go to the punk rock shows at the compound and go out, on random Wednesday afternoons and shoot guns,
like that movie Green Room.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, Green Room.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Similar. I never really bought into the shit, I like going out and having unlimited amounts of ammo that we could shoot in whatever fucking weapon we wanted to. A decent amount of warm animal beer and a decent amount of brown butt.
Whoever would have thought that Patrick Stewart would make such a good neo-Nazi, but anyway.
Right. It was a strange movie.
I really compare it more to American History X, where you've got the older brothers that are kind of recruiting the
that's what I was asking, because you had mentioned it was like American History X.
More so like that, where just kind of the grungy, dirty, fucking, toothless out-of-towners that moved up here to be a part of that movement, with the random couple of older brothers that got in trouble and went to jail and came out of jail and were very like, you guys can't fucking do this shit. Like, that's not the right way to live. And growing up Catholic, I mean, I was a fucking altar boy and shit like that when I was young,
I was
ringing the bells and whatever. So like,
I was too.
Having that mindset and being a fucking Eagle Scout.
Yeah, I didn't make
always being in that presence of mind of like, help your neighbor and type of shit, be prepared.
Well, what we really want to know about is the exorcism more than anything
all right
else.
Well,
I guess that's what the chat wants to know about.
Well, I still want to know about the black guy named Juice. Why was he named Juice?
It was his nickname.
Oh.
He was the only black guy around, and that was OJ. OJ Simpson. The Jew,
OJ. The Jews. I see. Just because
y'all called him that, or he called
it was a demeaning thing. Like they like the one black guy looks like all the black guys.
That sounds a little racist,
right? But he self-identified as Jew as well, too. So like,
he did. So
I mean, at the time, it would have been popular,
right? And acceptable at the time too, and not just acceptable, but like to where he fully embraced it. It's like, my name's Patrick.
How have you atoned for your guilt since then?
By marrying gay people exclusively.
And dogs.
And dogs.
You've expanded into
that was
dogs.
My first dog wedding. It fucking went off pretty dogmatic, I would say.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that story. I think that's.
But just living in the moment, just living in the here and now, like Jack says, without fear of anybody judging me. I don't give a fuck. Okay. But at the same time, like, I understand where you guys are coming from, where we have to be realistic. But goddamn it, we got to dare to dream, right? We got to dare to dream. Oh no, I know.
So how about these exorcisms, man?
Without those big dreams, right? Then I wouldn't have started growing weed, and I wouldn't have gotten busted.
Now
and
we're
I
talking.
wouldn't have gone to prison.
Wait, they don't have weed is not legal in Idaho? I would think Idaho of all
Oh,
places.
fuck no. No, not even
Really?
close. They finally, in the past month, have gotten to the point where they're not going to prosecute for anything under 3.5 grams.
Decriminalized. That's how Seattle started, actually. So it won't be.
It's not
just
decriminalized on the books yet, but we are so overwhelmed with cops taking people to fucking jail for a gram.
Yeah.
Right.
So you
and
think,
kids
like,
going in.
were able to make a difference? You were able to use grassroots, like, influence to make a difference. This is a great.
I don't know if you guys have heard of.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Task Force Butler. Task Force Butler helps military guys that have been indoctrinated with the military for white separatism, white power movement.
I don't believe that. I think there's more transgender indoctrination going on right now in the military than white supremacy.
I never saw any, and I spent 14 years.
Sure. Yeah.
You have examples of this indoctrination, official indoctrination?
Not by the government to the soldiers, no. But
not happening.
But there are. It's more so about the guys. Right. It's more so about the guys that join with that pre.
What's it called? Project Butler?
Task Force Butler. Yep.
Task Force Butler.
I'm not buying that.
I'm looking up my research, and if I necessary, I will bring the AI into this.
But there are.
I spent 14 years and never saw any of that.
Yep.
Task Force Butler Institute, Veterans Fighting Fascism. Man, his hand looks all gnarled.
And without
are you a veteran who opposes fascism? What we do, our inspiration.
Fucking charge.
It's a big long history. To our allies, to our adversaries. For those who wish to use this is for you, Fatty. For those who wish to use violence or the threat of violence to achieve political goals in the United States of America, let Task Force Butler be a warning and a promise. America is watching you. We see you wanting to punch those Nazis.
How big is that organization?
He said he used to. He said he's.
I thought you evolved from that. So
yeah, he did.
Well, we'll see. We're watching. We'll find out.
Task Force Butler is more so about calling out fascism because,
they're not really clear about what they do, though. It's very vague. Project Blacklisted. It looks like
cancel culture. It is for a reason. It is kind of, yeah. And when we're thinking about, a self-described fascist who wants to use holy socks against people.
Y'all are determining if they're fascists, not themselves. They're having that label imposed on them.
No, they're self-described. Like
there are plenty of self-described Nazis out there. That's not.
Yeah.
Is this your organization or what are we looking at here?
It's an organization that I've been involved in recently. We do have.
And they were the ones that were able to help the weed laws get changed.
A bit, yeah. There's some of that goes on. More so, it's about this whole premise right here that everybody has a right to exist in America because of the first 16 words of the First Amendment, right? We're not a declared Christian nation. Had we been a declared Christian nation, I don't think that Mormonism or Scientology would exist today. Right? We allow Nazis to exist in America. We allow everybody.
Mormons are Nazis? Right? Am I understanding that right?
No. What I'm saying is that from an ideological standpoint, if we were a declared Christian nation from the get-go, first of all, which one of the 8 different types of Christianity that were represented by the founding fathers would be our doctrine, right? There was 8 different types of Christianity represented by the 51 signers of the Declaration of Independence, right? Which one of those 8 different types of Christianity would we have picked, right? And going through time, would Joseph Smith been able to be a prophet if we were a declared Christian nation? I say not. Would Scientology been able to grow and prosper the way it has if there was, a thumb over them? I don't think so.
I mean, look at
with that ideology, we have to say that one of the things I hear a lot up here from the far right Christians and even the mainstream Christians is that when it comes to gay and trans issues,
two separate things.
I don't believe that exists. I don't believe that my God creates such things.
What?
Right?
What do you mean?
You're saying they say that?
They say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, so what?
Right?
What?
So,
Frank, they will not tolerate intolerance.
I believe everybody has the right to exist, right? I believe everybody has the right to exist in whatever form they want to, as long as they're not physically hurting somebody else. Because mentally hurting somebody else goes into the dichotomy of morals. And where do our morals come from? And you guys get into this all the time. Our morals come from our religion and our doctrine and our dogma, right? So going from that into me getting busted for growing weed after my divorce and going to prison and going in there the idea is I just want to get the fuck in and get the fuck out, do my rider, do my 6 months,
How long
12
was
months.
that?
They wanted to put me in for fucking 14 years, dude, for fucking growing weed.
Whoa, for weed?
Yeah.
That's an injustice.
How long did you serve?
I basically did 13 months on a rider program.
I would go protest.
Well, the thing was, though, is that I live real close to a church that's also a school, and I was within a drug-free school zone. And every one of my guns counted for a separate felony, so I was charged with fucking 14 felonies.
Yep.
And I pled out to manufacturing and possession of over 3 ounces.
Manufacturing weed?
Yeah, right?
Right.
So 160 something thousand grams that they took out of here in under 48 plants with a bunch of little clones in the other closet. You know how much of that weed actually showed up to my trial for evidence for their discovery?
0.
3.5 ounces.
Oh wow.
Ah, wow.
I'm telling you, dude, that Bubba Kush, the reclining Buddha, okay, that bud was as big as my torso, bro.
Oh my God.
Like,
that sounds like something out of Half Baked.
Killer fucking weed, dude. Killer fucking weed. And I went to get my discovery. They couldn't produce any of my guns. They couldn't produce any of the shit that they took, all my glass and paraphernalia and shit. I had a glass blowing setup. They took the torches and all the gas tanks.
Right.
But coming from that and going through that and always, I mean, fuck, I got busted in fucking freshman year driving to school, taking big bong hits in the fucking car on the way to school, right? There's a teacher right behind us.
That's surprising.
So from freshman year, I've always been indoctrinated with recovery and recovery type issues. Fake it to make it, one day at a time.
Are you in recovery?
In prayer,
Are you in recovery?
I think everybody's in recovery. They just need to fucking admit it or not.
Well, are you specifically trying to recover from something?
I smoke weed every day. I drink whenever I want to. I'm not dependent on them. I don't let it rule my life. I stay cognitively aware, right, of what triggers me and how to deal with triggers and how to approach different situations from a cognitive. I want to be actionary and not just reactionary. Yeah. And going through prison and whatever, it was kind of like you either do this rider program. It's a retained jurisdiction type of thing. Flo's talked about this a little bit as well, where you get a chance to do your little
jail for drugs too.
Yeah, so you either do this little thing and you walk the line and you get your shit together, or you go do your time, and you get to make the choice, right? So it's a community model deal where you got 200 guys in a dormitory style bunk with 2 correctional officers. And we hold ourselves accountable through this community model program of push-ups and pull-ups, right? I'm pushing you up because you're doing fucking great. But then every night we have this community meeting where everybody's in the hall and it's expected of you to pull up your fellow members, you know. And in the evening meetings, you pull up somebody who you see shit sticking, right?
That's
Mr. Joe, I'm pulling you up for. I noticed that you haven't shaved for 3 days, and that's part of the deal.
Oh no!
And you stand there in front of everybody, face to face, eye to eye, and you confront each other, and you have a confrontation.
Yeah, that's just weird.
You know,
why can't you learn to do it for yourself so you don't need other men to pull up for you?
Because we weren't raised that way. First of all, we don't have that vocabulary. We don't have it within ourselves as men to be able to just like honestly stand in front of each other in front of fucking 400 people.
Like you don't know to shave yourself. You need someone else
It's not so much that it's about holding ourselves accountable by holding each other accountable. Type of thing. It's, you know,
that's
the mentality
weird to me. Like a self accountability should not be dependent on. There shouldn't be an element
if everyone
of other
agrees
accountability.
to it, though, it's fine. It's fine.
And at what point do you bring out the exorcisms?
So one of the kids, one of the guys that I was in Cottonwood with, was I don't know what he self-described as a lot of things. He was also a fecal file, and he would come into these AA meetings and stuff. In the evenings.
I remember this story. Yeah, and I remember you now very clearly.
So we'd find little balls of shit around and stuff, and like really weird fucking dude. And he'd come into these AA meetings and like start telling us how amazing it is to shit on your partner and like what a spiritual experience it is.
I would like to try.
I would vomit.
But, yeah, weird shit, definitely.
What the hell?
After I got out, he was
too, isn't he?
He was from my county. He's probably a jack. I didn't realize he was even from my county, and coming out, you know, getting ordained while I was in prison or whatever, doing my rider was something that I'd always thought about, you know, through kind of high school, you know, hanging out with the Nazis and whatever else, and real shitty divorce. We, you know, my ex and I were kind of swingers. We were kind of like very sexually active. I mean, I used to strip and shit, did a lot of bachelorette parties. We do live sex shows and stuff too. So like we had a very weird dichotomy with our relationship, and very kind of weird hardcore divorce where I knew something was going on behind the scenes and didn't really know, but then found out and just took it like a typical immature dude that, you know, had a kid at 17 and never really learned how to be a man.
Right.
Had 3 kids before I was 21.
Shit, dude.
You know, never had that early 20s of being out and being promiscuous and whatever else, but we were together and promiscuous. So there was like this weird shit going on. Anyhow, getting ordained was kind of a way for me to, first of all, show the judge that I was doing good. There was, I think, only 5 or 6, whatever, maybe a dozen of us at the time in that program that did the daily work logs, and every week would mail in our work logs to the pastor at the Universal Life deal and get the stuff back graded and change stuff. It was a real in-depth, very, very intense, in-depth look into the King James Bible. And coming out of prison, having that ordainship and getting involved with a couple other churches, getting ordained with 2 other kind of sections of dogmatic Christianity, and looking at things like, honestly, like Jack's been talking about, of being kind of like a life coach, being a counselor, being a fisher of men, right? And, you know, we're called to be fishers of men. We're not called to be fighters of evil. You know, it's not our place to fight evil. It's our place to pick up and pull up our fellow man, right? And running into this fecal file kid, he was involved with a bunch of these weird self-proclaimed Satanists up here in Peaceful Valley. And we'd always heard about this place kind of as a kid, just like this little, I wouldn't even call it a compound. It was just like a little community that lived up on the hill. And we were just always warned not to go up there. You know, don't go up there, and you know, just stay away type of thing. Running back into him through this Celebrate Recovery program, which is an amazing recovery program, real you know, AA structured, but with Christ straight up as the higher power. There's no coffee cup higher power. There's no possible higher power that saves us. It's Christ, and it's very Christ based. And he was in there and he was really struggling. I, at that point in time, had just started up a Come As You Are divorce group for men. I spent 2.5, 3 years as a rage-filled, absolute fucking psychopath. She was holding the kids from me. I would go pick the kids up late from the fucking babysitters and get the cops called on me for kidnapping my own kids while she was out running around on fucking Oxycontin and heroin and everything else, right? So more so as a concern for the kids that things were just not right. And this divorce group gave me a way of coping with that with guys that were going through way less than I were. And being able to tell these stories and make people laugh and cry at the same time of the fucking horrible shit that was going on.
I'm almost doing that right now.
Yeah. This kid started showing up to the divorce group, and he came in a couple times just like black on black on black, and he had like three rings in his lip and shit, and you could just tell, like, some other days he'd come in wearing his dark purples. And you know, I've always kind of been one where I can kind of see people's aura and really kind of empath when I want to be, and wasn't closed off. And he was talking about his girl Crystal and how she was possessed. And I'd gotten in touch with a couple guys. There's a guy out of Missoula, another guy up out of Sandpoint, who were really big into kind of Taoism, but more so kind of Wiccan type of shit, where, you know, reading people's auras and tantric style praying, real dark music, being played live, a lot of drum circle type of stuff. Got a hold of Rodney, the one guy, and started talking to Rodney, who he'd been a Catholic priest, transferred over to like Anglican, whatever he was. But the movie Constantine, the big real big white guy that was Constantine's buddy, that was just a hardcore fucking alcoholic, and he drank like a fifth a day just to keep the demons from talking to him, type of guy. He got involved somehow. I got those two together, and they decided that she needed an exorcism, that Crystal needed to be exorcised.
Oh, now we're talking. So what happened?
So she agreed. And I went up with them a couple times and talked to her, and never really got any, you know, I got some weird aura vibes off of her, but I pretty much thought she was full of shit and never saw any type of like in the moment type of shit. And the third time we went up one night, and they were doing a sacrifice. They were doing a goat sacrifice. And
a goat sacrifice?
Yeah.
Is this part of the exorcism?
So it goes from, so this one night basically was it was summer solstice, middle of the summer, and they were doing this summer solstice whatever deal, and we went up and they did you know, gasoline pentagram out in the grass, and had the altar in the middle and stuff, and they were doing their thing, and she was one of the whatever ceremony leaders. And I'm not kidding, dude. When they sliced the fucking neck on that goat, dude, she turned into a fucking animal. A straight up fucking living human animal. And couple weeks later was when Rod came down, and we went up, and same thing, civil conversation, but she could remember having these experiences and being out of control, being 100% to where she did not feel like she was controlling herself, right? And of course, goat is kind of weird. It's a little gamey usually, but depends on how much sagebrush they eat.
Gas-powered pentagram sounds cool.
Yeah.
Now,
man,
if the exorcism was done on you, would you actually remember it, or do you think that you might be recalling some memories of the demon that possessed you? Is that what's going on here? Because I don't.
That's a very good question.
I think in her situation, she was raised, Christian, and I don't know what sect, but daytime she seemed like a very fucking normal fucking person. Had a job, had kids, and like this whole community up there was just, it was really weird. And like going up there from an inner like a perspective of a friend who's just kind of here to help and here to talk and could maybe give some advice one way or another about just how to deal with life situations. And she was trying to get sober. That was the other part of this whole deal is, she was a hardcore fucking opioid user and oxy and all that shit was going off at the time. And these guys were on like speedballs for months on end. And like the amount of shit these guys were consuming, I couldn't even come to believe. And I mean, I had a lot of drugs and mushrooms and acid and shit, but like these guys were like on a whole new level with their speedballs and the opioids and like.
That's crazy.
Comes to the point where I go up and I just didn't take part, but was an observer of this summer solstice evening. But yeah, it was a couple, I don't know, mid-August, so a few weeks later down the road. Went up and same thing, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, she goes outside and
Pentagram.
starts howling at the moon and like talking in tongues and like her eyeballs were not the same they were before, right? The color in her eyes changed. Her fucking pupils were like deep fucking green purple.
Fatty.
I don't know, man. I don't think it was drugs. And I battled. I really battled internally trying to figure out what the fuck, if they're just fucking with me. I thought they were fucking with me more than anything else, that they were bringing me up there.
She was
to scare me.
Something.
She was fucking possessed, bro. She was possessed.
Okay.
100%. And Rodney had this other kid up in Sandpoint that he'd been helping out, and he was going to do an exorcism on this kid with a couple other folks that came in from out of town to help. They had done a house cleansing. Yeah, right. So they'd done a house cleansing on this kid's house, and it made everything worse, right? And I was really fucking religious at the time. I was really into kind of the spiritual warfare game of life, of spiritual warfare, and went up and met with this kid, Carl, and
fucking Carl.
I think and his brother's name was Seth, and he was also possessed. Fucking Seth, dude. Tell you what, there's something about that name. We went up on a Thursday night, and they were planning on doing him that Saturday night. And that Thursday, same thing, like normal dude, man, mechanic.
Wait, doing him like
mechanic.
Another exorcism? Like
so
the girl and the dude?
So the girl, the girl Crystal was kind of this group of recovery people that I knew, right? And Rod was this preacher that despite his faults, he was a spiritual warfare guy, right? That was his game. Like John Constantine, bro. Like very, very, very direct, but knew, like, I don't know. It's just he knew what he was doing.
Were these exorcisms were they successful?
So,
like, what
what
was the end result? Do these people live happy, healthy lives now, or are they on the YouTubes?
Yeah, no, they're just normal fucking people,
Okay.
We went up to this Carl kid's place, and
fucking Carl.
Same thing, normal person, dude, eating dinner, everything's fucking normal. But come 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, he fucking just disappears.
Out. They're like, where devils?
Yeah, man. Yeah, right. And like that fucking quick too. And I seriously thought these guys were fucking with me. I thought it was like a hidden camera show type of thing where I'm trying to play it really fucking cool.
That seems
but yet
healthy.
Be involved and be there for backup, with a Bible, praying intensely. Like, I really thought I was being punked for the most part. Until Carl, dude. Carl, he was a cutter, right? He'd cut himself, and come to find out, whatever, he disappeared, and his old lady goes, yeah, he's probably out in the barn and whatever else.
Out there cutting himself.
He was a sadistic animal abuser.
Man, you get that guy with the poop guy together, right? Man, you have all kinds of infections.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like you know what I'm really getting from all this is that Idaho is a lot more fucked up than Texas.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm not really sure where we're going here.
Yeah.
I grew up in supposedly the South, like where like supposedly all the Nazis and everything's supposed to be, but apparently they're all in Idaho, and people have got the impression of the South all wrong. It's the Midwest is apparently where all the bad shit is. Because like I'm not doubting your story at all. I believe you.
At that point in time, you're 100%.
I'm trying to comprehend the story. I want to know more. Like, okay,
100% right though. At that point in time, most of the separatist movement, most of the white power movement, they were all up here. And there was a lot of this weird sect of dark, witchcrafty, religious stuff. Separatist religions, I like to call them, and because I don't even know how they self-identified, so I don't want to label them because I don't know how they label themselves, right?
How do you know they were
fucking witches and witchcraft type of shit? Burning pentagrams in the grass.
I had
burning crosses.
Cool.
I've had
burning upside down crosses.
I had encounters with pagans out in Vegas that were very did a lot of crazy stuff. So
yeah, and from an inquisitive standpoint, it was very cool to learn about and experience and be a part of and watch their rituals and watch how this girl could literally become a fucking demon. I
don't think she became a demon.
Neither do I, but at the time it was like, being inquisitive, I'm always questioning. I'm always looking for resolve, looking for, what is a definition, and going up and having a similar experience with this Carl guy, like literally. I mean, I don't want to gross you guys out. He had an altar.
Why did you guys have to kill a goat?
Well, he was into felines, and apparently I didn't.
The closest thing around was a goat.
Yeah, I want to keep my channel. Don't put my channel at risk with too much.
He had an altar, right? And he was out in the barn that night after dinner, feeding was the term, right? Feeding.
Oh,
basically these guys, I don't know if they thought they were maybe like wannabe vampire goths or wannabe goth vampires, but kind of that feeding type of thing.
They're like people who played too much Vampire the Masquerade.
And then like they were all into bloodletting, right? And you heal your soul and you heal your body by letting your blood. And like dude had like slashes all over himself, and like
this is not medical information.
No, exactly. like weird religious type of stuff that is not anywhere medical, and just very weird shit, And from the inquisitive standpoint, I tried to maintain that open mind, especially at the time of being, really
we're not monetized,
right? In-depth focused, Christian point of view.
Can make anything happen.
Well, Carl decided straight up that
fucking Carl.
That Rod decided that Carl needed to be fucking exercised. And we went back up. We went up on Thursday night. We went back up on Saturday.
Did that make sense to you when he said that? You're like, oh yeah.
I honestly, I've never seen the movie. Okay, I've seen a couple of like, to that point in time, it was probably maybe, I don't even know if Constantine had came out at that point in time, but like, my point of view at that point in time was I can be a spiritual warrior. I can go and help and be in the background, with a okay, when we're going into life, right? In general, if we're not going into life with a 100%, fuck yes, this is going to be fucking awesome. This is going to fucking work. And this is the fucking most amazing fucking thing. Yes, yes.
That is kind of inspirational.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're not going into life with even at a 99, bro,
Yeah.
especially at a 90%, yes, this is going to be fucking great. It still doesn't work out the way we want it to. Usually because we're already kind of self-doubting ourselves, right? And that spiritual warfare, you got to be 100. You got to fucking be 100. And I really felt like, and I was at the time, with the Bible, and especially with the red letter verses,
And
the actual word spoken by the man, right? And using the Lord's Prayer, using using those as a way to fortify a situation, and being asked to be involved in that first one for Carl was
Fucking Carl.
basically going to
sound Talcotty, but in a different,
indeed, yes,
way.
Be there as a person, a backup person who can just emit that energy, right? Who can be so solely focused that you are a living prayer, that you are projecting that energy, right?
Man, I pray I can understand this exorcism story.
So it gets into the evening. We go up on the Saturday night, same thing, and he knows we're there to do this. He's asked for it. He wants it. He believes that it can happen, that he can be saved. He was raised whatever type of Christian, was going through recovery, and had gotten off of drugs, but was still into this blood whatever fetish, whatever you want to call it, feeding, right? And there's something about that too, with the minerals and the iron, and especially with whatever different types of animals and stuff. I don't know. I know, Crystal, those folks got into actual like mammal. It was all about mammal blood and stuff, especially like human stuff. Carl wasn't, and that night basically kind of went off without a hitch. I mean,
fucking Carl.
As we got into praying, he got all weird and his fucking shit changed, and like could literally see like facial deformation, body deformation. Some of that, I wanted to justify as medically possible without any type of being possessed, right?
Did they have to be like strapped down while you? I mean, you see like the exorcisms in the movies where people are
he
tied
was just
down
sitting in a chair.
No projectile vomiting or head turning.
No, but definitely very aggressive, very deep voice, growly, animalistic,
cool.
talking in tongues.
Yeah.
Did you get
rolled back eye.
Video?
No, we're talking like early 2000s, and I mean, it just wasn't like, we were still using flip phones and like VCR recorders, so like it wasn't a thing to even have cameras around in society, and it wasn't something that was even thought about, like we could be filming this,
I mean, I've seen some stuff like this at raves.
Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, and I could definitely at that point in time, I could definitely see the similarities with MDMA. The ecstasy had just started coming out with the big raves, and
you think it's possibly it was just like schizophrenia or something like that? I mean, like,
I couldn't justify it being that, no, because
would have. Did you all drop acid and like go out in the woods and all this stuff happen?
No. Like, partying as a teenager and as an early,
They were
whatever.
sober.
This was like the
Yeah.
recovery church thing, right?
Yeah,
recovery.
right. This was more so
trying
about
to
recovery.
understand.
So, and being from a celebrate recovery, Jesus is higher power compared to just a AA kind of group. It, different dichotomy, but
I mean, it
still
sounds
like
hardcore. You guys sacrificed a goat for the ceremony, right?
they did.
They did.
I
He
witnessed
was
it.
just there.
And definitely something where, from the inquisitive mind, I wanted to be able to justify spiritually more so than medically, but but I could look at these things and say, that's something that somebody could fake. It really is. That's something that somebody could. But why? Why would somebody? They're not. He's not. This whole production is not just to punk me. So it was real easy to understand that this is fucking real. And the more so that you believe and project that you're haunted, that your house is haunted, that whatever, like, the more so you believe it and the more so you manifest it, maybe, right? And I don't know. So my rationality at that time was, very, very open to interpretation and open to things are possible, and I don't know, that one went off really, really, really kind of weird.
I mean, for what it's worth,
Yeah, sounds
believe
like
you. I believe you because I've seen enough weird stuff in my life. I'm not going to go into it, but I mean, I've seen enough weird stuff.
And it was a real quick.
It.
It was a quick hour and a half, and it was a very just kind of a. And there was resolve too, and he felt like there was something there that.
I don't know if he ever does. I forgot what we were talking about. What we started on.
Yes, I do. So that first one, like I said, that first one was basically a very defining kind of, at the end of the night, there was a resolve and there was a conversation and there was a fuck.
And
I feel better.
Got
man.
married and lived happily ever after.
Yeah, not necessarily, but there was a.
The dogs did. They're married now.
Yeah,
the dogs did. Okay, cool. That's a different thing.
Different dogma. The second one with the gal later that summer. The first one was off the chain. Like,
that was Carl, right?
Carl was the Carl was the guy.
Was the cutter.
Did Carl stop drinking blood from cats and stuff like that? Did he stop this?
Yeah,
he was the cutter.
Yeah, he did. And I could justify that from both spectrums. Like,
even if there wasn't a
is
demon,
he just making the choice to, right? Is he making the choice to? Did he have to go through all that theatrics to, did he have to play that theatrical?
I like Timothy Riley's comment, like the times of Methuselah.
Yeah, but without the, so it's like
without the Methuselah.
Is it
especially looking at it from a sober, point of view, like. And almost to the point where
Carl Huffington,
like hardcore straight X type of shit, where you like
you said you had a destination though. We were almost there.
He's getting to the girls exorcism now.
And the first one, there was a point that was reached, right? There was resolve and there was understanding, and however it could be justified, right? This other bitch, totally different fucking story. So. She had a couple of girlfriends that were still whatever in the Wiccan kind of bloodletting bullshit, and
a bloodletting Wiccan.
Well, whatever it was, that's the other thing too with definitions, right? Is that each region is going to have their own kind of whatever they call themselves.
I've encountered that too. I know what you mean.
So like. Whatever they self-described at, but they were basically they called themselves witches. Same thing though. She knew that the procedure, that this ceremony was going to happen. She was looking forward to it. She was very, at least, calm and collected about it. And
so she was possessed, but she was looking forward to it.
and not, you know, not like
That sounds impossible.
not like a locked in the room, strapped to a bed, possessed, right? Because daytime was pretty fucking normal. So that's, I always looked at it like this is a choice.
That's right. She was a were-demon.
And same with Carl too. That, you know, it was more so of like you live this act in life in daytime so you can make money and be a part of the system and be able to go to grocery stores and gas stations, right? But once you were able to release yourself and release those release the shrouds of life, they'd say, like, you know, take off your shroud, brother. Like, you know, like,
are you sure you didn't get exercised and just don't remember it? That's why it doesn't really come out apparently.
I think the rapture's already happened, and this is hell, and we're all fucked. So whatever.
I mean that with all the love I could possibly mean that with.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's possible. I may have been exercised. I don't know. I could just be a discombobulated spirit floating around on the YouTubes.
Yeah. Was there some reverse energy going on? Maybe, I don't know, but.
Well, I'm glad that it helped you, whatever it was that happened.
At least the mushrooms from 10 years ago still work. You know, that shit never really leaves your system. So who knows, right? But her deal was a different deal, guys. I'm telling you, she became a fucking animal, straight up. And the first one didn't work.
I know some girls like that when the sun goes down. They get...
Yeah. They're all fucking savages. Tear your fucking heart out and eat it right in front of you just to fucking watch you fucking cry.
I mean, maybe.
They're all capable.
Maybe, but they're all capable of it. But in general, that was a weird one. And that was one really too that rocked fucking homeboy. Nice. And fucking he, you know, I don't think that Rod had never seen anything like that. The pastor, the main guy that was doing the ceremony, and that's one too, honestly, where I was far enough away, you know, 100 feet away, and could fucking seriously feel the heat and flames coming out of her, like the energy that
you feel a lot of energy.
Yeah, I mean, and was really tuned in at the time to almost astral projection, but more so just internal, you know, being able to feel the world around you and absorb the energies. And I tell you, dude, that night,
that sounds intense.
It was one of those things that made me look at everything in the fucking world that had ever fucking happened in like that amount of time. Right, we were there for maybe an hour. Yeah, it was like an hour and a half, you know, procedure, whatever, ceremony, but literally felt like I was there for like a fucking 100 years. But also like a snap of a finger, just like that fucking quick, but that much. Like, that night didn't go well. Rodney got really fucking, he got scratched and whatever, he's like deep in his eye, like scratched and shit. And like, we left there, we left there very fucking shaken. And being a projectionist at the time that was just trying to project energy into the situation, who was more in tune really with being an absorber, I wasn't strong enough to fucking handle that shit at all, dude. Straight up.
Do you think that the demon jumped into you?
No, but it didn't fucking leave her, for sure. It did not. Huh. And basically the next week, shit was going off. The whole community up there, nobody really knew that was going to be happening. But apparently, the same night, in the same community, literally houses away, they were having other ceremonies and seances, right? And pulling energy from the universe to them, right? And bad timing is how we kind of took that one. Rod went up there every day for the next week and a half, And the following Wednesday, we went up on a Saturday originally. The following next Wednesday, whatever, 10, 12 days later, we went back up. And he brought in a couple of gals that like Wicked Witch of the, not even worse, more like Wizard of Oz witches, like real.
Like Margaret Hamilton.
You look at them and you say to yourself, "Well, God damn it,
Judy
that's a
Garland?
witch right there. That right there is a witch." Like you just cannot.
I know
like,
when I've seen in real life.
Yeah, I mean, very. You look at them. There's no doubt in anybody's mind.
Yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
right
I've
there's
worked for them too.
And
Brilliant.
they did. I don't remember even. It was probably, we ended up staying the night up there. Shit didn't really clear up until right around sunrise. I mean, it was probably.
Is there a shorter
7 hours.
version of the story though?
Damn,
It's about
Timothy
7,
Riley.
8 hours, dude, of like absolute the nuttiest shit of the talking in tons, like homegirl. I'm not gonna say that she floated, but standing up, seriously would levitate
Like
a
Light
foot
as
off the ground. A foot off the ground, bro. I'm not even fucking kidding you.
We used to do that.
For a half an hour at a time, for 2 or 3 seconds at a time. And
Man,
in,
you know,
in
you guys
the
should have
most
documented this with like
hardcore
photography.
fit of rage you'd ever seen anybody in. Like you think fucking Macho Man and Hulk Hogan had some fucking, no, dude, this chick was like, I mean, a scrawny little bitch, right? But like,
Yeah. Oh, I know
yoked
that.
up, like a cartoon, dude. Literally like twice her fucking size, man. And like, not coming, but you could like, just a fucking like.
Where are
she
you?
floated, bro. She floated.
Somebody's
there's
behind you.
the only way to say it. She floated, and was just like,
Fatty, somebody came in behind you. I don't know where you are.
yeah, it's my bro.
Oh,
Okay.
hey, sorry, didn't know I was in the camera.
There's I don't know. There's something to be said about just being open enough to at least accept physically, rationally, yes, this is happening. That just happened. I believe it because I saw it. You know,
So your evolution through high school
7
till
hours,
now.
dude. 7 hours of absolute like intense back and forth, and again, you know, like living within a dream type of thing. Knowing that you're dreaming
Yeah.
while you're dreaming type of thing, right? But being able to know that you're awake, you know,
You
fucking
know,
intense, dude.
and
It's
then the
fucking
next thing
intense.
you know, you're marrying dogs on the internet with your brother in the
Fucking
background
right.
playing
I
guitar.
need drugs for this.
And here we are, man.
Yeah.
I enjoy the story, but you know it's all over the place, man.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying. I'm trying.
And I'm, you know, I've tried a couple times to try to put this down, you know, on paper.
I mean, and you're gonna have to face the fact that with a grand claims require grand evidence, right? You can't, you know, expect people not to scrutinize and try to understand how. I thought it was going well, but you said earlier too, it's not like she's still possessed or whatever, and that's the one chick.
No,
but there's also the fecal matter guy. You've seen 5 or 6 or 8 exorcisms, was it?
These are
and then fucking Carl.
So kind of these two are the main ones that, and the last two that
I think
I would.
You were the one exercised.
Kind of,
your brain scrambled from it. That's what's happening here, man. But I support you on your journey.
Yeah, it could be. You know, and who am I to know?
It could have happened to me too.
You know, but I know after being a part of those two that, you know, I haven't looked at humanity the same. I haven't looked at life the same. I haven't looked at religion the same. I haven't looked at my life, anything the same, other than from the point of view of being open and being, you know.
Have you tried
being able to actually say that yes, that happened, that I witnessed it, I saw it.
Do you
whether
think
I call
there's
it
such a
spiritual
thing
miracle,
too open, or can you control it? Do you have a choice?
What was the first part of that?
Do you think there's such a thing as being too open, where it becomes a detriment and starts to work against you? Or is it something you can't control anyway, so it doesn't matter?
Open.
Well, you said about being open and how you could feel
Open to observation.
And the auras.
The energy stuff, all that. Like
empathic, you know,
yeah.
and not empathy, but, you know, empath. And yeah, there is. Again,
like I couldn't have that on all the time and still
without getting too dogmatic. It's something that, you know, while you're in the moment, you're in the moment. And
you guys ever seen Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Oh yeah,
good movie.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if it's like that.
Yeah,
like if you're super empathic, you could like see dead people.
World's worst actor.
Patrick Swayze? Fuck that. He's a great actor.
I personally don't believe in
Good movie. Good movie for sure. But no, I mean, and even still, I mean, I got nothing to fucking hide.
Well, speaking of movies, we were gonna go watch that whatever it's called. If anybody wants to join us on the Discord.
The Exorcist?
Oh, hang on, my speaker went out. I can't hear anything.
Or Natural Born Killers.
I like during that Ghost movie.
The best movie ever made. Stigmata, the new horror movie. That one looks pretty fucking good.
Wait, which one? They're remaking Stigmata?
Stigmata, yeah, just came.
Isn't that with the
just came out?
Wait, what? No way. That's one of my favorite.
It's a movie from the 90s.
I thought that
another
was
one.
early
They remade it. Hang on.
What?
Man,
I saw that movie in
is
theaters.
so good.
Best Christmas movie ever, Friday the 13th, Part 4.
Nah, we discussed this last night. It's Die Hard.
I don't see
you all discussed it.
My mind.
Chat.
I forgot about it. I forgot about Friday the 13th, Part 4. It's a great Christmas movie.
Rob Zombie redid the Halloween.
I would love to see Stigmata.
Yeah, Rob Zombie's new Halloween. Yeah, redid the Halloween movies too.
Now, Stigmata was in
I'm
the
not
99.
seeing
There's never been
anything new about
been remade.
Was it?
It wasn't Halloween.
Yeah, there's no.
There's a new one that came out that's like it. That's about Stigmata or something, but.
Oh, but it's not
From
called
1999.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that was good. I would love to rewatch that one.
I'm down to rewatch it. I haven't seen that since the first.
I'll see if I can find it. It says it's on Prime
If-
Video.
I might. You know what?
have
I
that.
might
I
actually
think I
have
have
it
that
already on my hard drive.
Yeah.
There is a new one though. There's one that came out here last summer, 9 months ago or something.
Oh, are you talking about the Pope's Exorcist
God, I
with
don't
Russell
know.
Crowe?
Did make a new Exorcist.
Oh yeah, there is
Yeah.
a new Exorcist. I've seen that. I didn't really care for it.
You know, it says actually we can
Oh, it
watch
wasn't
Stigmata
good?
for free on Pluto TV, on Tubi, and on Roku channel. So I guess it's free to
Wow.
watch.
Oh, I can just get it off Pirate Bay and do the VLC and
Yeah.
stream my
Yeah,
stream.
I could do that as well. But yeah.
Chris has the well, maybe we should talk about this off stream.
Oh
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Getting older.
Yeah.
We can.
So
we can
anyway,
probably,
we'll be on the
but-
Discord. If anybody
Yeah.
needs an invite, just contact us and we can get you in.
Badass.
And we'll either watch Stigmata or that AI movie, or maybe both.
Nice.
First
What's-
two. The
what's
first
the
one,
AI
The
movie?
Exorcist, the original one is one of my favorite comedies. The Omen was creepy.
Comedies.
I know little
Omen,
kids like that.
Yeah,
I used to
Omen was
teach
pretty
them.
weird. But
I
anymore,
think I like Exorcist 3, but most people hate it. But I like it.
We're gonna watch it in the Discord, Flo.
What's up, Flow State? Stigmata is
doing that
dope.
tonight.
Right now.
You ever
I
seen
think.
you ever seen the
Well,
Ninth
as,
Gate?
as soon as we can figure out a way to watch it.
You seen the Ninth Gate? You guys ever seen that one?
Yeah, with Johnny Depp and the book thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty crazy. I
I lost
think
my
Jared would like
virginity to that movie.
the same time. You guys start getting
Was
all
you
the
by
same time,
yourself, Jeff?
Same
I
time.
was dating this
Johnny-
Pentecostal chick. I was like 16. It was great. It was one of my favorite memories.
The movie or the chick?
It get you guys going whenever like Johnny Depp started getting off the demon lady and everything or something like that.
Fuck yeah, it was great. I mean, there's this girl. She was really super aggressive, and I still to this day like never met anybody like her. I'm still friends with her, but like she's married with kids and stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
But you know,
What is
the
it
whole
about religious
teenager
chicks
thing.
that makes them just horny as fuck?
She was Pentecostal. I went to church with her once, and it was like everybody in the church turned and looked at me and greeted me and like came and like I don't even know how to explain it. They all like touched me.
They all came.
Oh yeah, they did that.
They all like they came like they like lined up to like
I had to
say
fake
hello.
tongues to get them to leave me alone. I had to start
And
pretending.
they do
I
like
had
a
the
lot of
spirit
like people were just
talking to
randomly
people.
yelling out and like just
Yeah.
just getting their energy out, man. Talking about that fucking spiritual stuff. Like they just it'd be blah 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 blah, just talking like, oh, they just got a hold of me now.
we had a whole nother group of dudes at the time that kind of formed their own little deal where they rented out this building downtown, and they called it church group or men's group or ladies group, whatever what they would have on any given night. But they were pretty much into like smoking weed and eating mushrooms and talking in tongues about the Lord.
Oh shit! I didn't get any of that stuff till I was an adult.
And did it turn into something sexy after a while?
It turned into a cult for sure. Some of them got into the swinging group that was going around too, but like it was more so about just doing drugs. I don't know what they were doing.
I should have grown up in Idaho, man. Idaho sounds like there was like all the shit was going on out there. Texas was boring.
Well, it seems that's all that society's worried about today anyway, doing drugs.
Frank, we're not sure yet. Stigmata or the AI movie called Her, I believe, or She.
Yeah, Her.
Oh, it's an AI movie.
It's called Her.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Her. It's got Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with his
little AI assistant companion.
It's voiced by Scarlett Johansson, and it's directed by Spike Jonze. Got Joe Malkovich.
I'm not sure I could really watch that. I'll watch it and I'll feel all depressed. Like
that one looked good.
It's not really depressing. I don't think it's really depressing. It does.
Well, you have to take my perspective. I'm a single dude living alone and shit, man. So for me, it'd be different.
Oh,
but
yeah, me too.
What's that one? Is it called Her or She?
Her.
But I might watch a little of either.
But we could do Stigmata too if there's more audience for that.
Yeah, what is Stigmata about?
Oh, if you haven't seen it, it's real good, Chuck. It's very religious.
It's Gabriel Byrne. It's Gabriel Byrne.
In fact, when it came out, the Catholic Church threw a big upcry about it and tried to get it blocked, banned, or something.
Yeah,
they kicked up a lot of dust behind this movie.
And the PMRC, that was kind of when the
fucking Frank Knitting or something. Let's do Her.
What's her name? Super Gore, and the PMRC threw a big stink about it.
And there's reasons for it you don't find out till the very end, but then once you do, it all clicks into place. So knowing that the Catholic Church was against it is part of kind of the movie.
Extremely.
I mean, the Stigmata had a message, and I believe it was good about there shouldn't be a monument to the church. The church should be inside. And I think I was even saying something like that earlier when you guys were talking about whatever when Fatty came on the panel.
That's the original difference between the Anglicans and the Catholics. Is the Anglicans, it's the Catholics have too much symbolism and there's too much ritualistic. Dogmatic.
Bro, I went to a Catholic high school. I graduated from Catholic school. I could tell you all about it. But
seeing that
what do we have Stigma? Were you able to find it?
I mean, I haven't gotten up to look for it yet. I can go find it though. I mean, I can get it.
See what the options are, because it looks like the momentum is to go with that one.
Here's a question for you.
Watch the guy after that.
I have a bunch of like demon possession movies though. I love movies like that. Ever seen like The Order with Heath Ledger? That one's a good one.
I remember that one. I think I saw that one.
About the Sin Eater. It's like it was originally called The Sin Eater, and they changed it to Order, which is the dumb title. The Sin Eater was a much better title. I like Constantine too. That's a good one. Like you were talking about earlier. I got Frailty. Have you seen Frailty? That's a good one. There's another one called I got a bunch of them, but anyway, But I'll go see if I find Stigmata. I'm gonna jump off then.
That one's available.
I gotta go check.
All right, I'll wrap it up, and we can meet on the Discord and coordinate from there.
I'll see you there.
So if anyone's not on the Discord and needs an invite, holler.
Feel free to come
Yeah, I'll
watch
find
with
you
us
guys in a few hours. I gotta go to dinner with the kids tonight. It's not too often I get together with all my 3 kids anymore.
Oh yeah, well
They're
good.
Oh hell yeah.
Good man, yeah. Have a great evening with that then. Yeah, it's totally that's a very good reason
I
to
do
not go
appreciate
watch
you
a dumb
stopping
movie.
by and
Just
telling
leave the
your
goats
story.
alone.
I was
I
just
might
glad you
stop
got to
in and
sit
out.
next to God last night.
What?
I got some good clips.
What?
I got some good clips of Satan sitting at the right hand of the Father last night.
Oh yeah, somebody
What
renamed me Satan, and they had me sit at the right hand of Flo, who they named God. And then somebody else.
If you like doing clips from shows, like clip our show some and put some clips up for it. It'll be good advertising.
There's some good clips coming out of here for sure. Shit, like I said, most of the time I'm at fucking work.
Yeah, I have it set. Y'all
time,
should
but-
be able to clip. I don't mind if people
Yep.
clip and share and circulate.
And
All
you know,
right,
you
Good
can
talking
always
to
It's a
everybody.
community
Good night.
project anyway.
Oh hell yeah.
Good night, Fatty. Good night. I don't know. I don't know why you call yourself Fatty. By the way, you were not a fat person at all.
My name's Patrick, and everybody called me Fat Pat growing up.
Were you
Been
fat?
there,
Right.
done that.
And then I started rolling joints like bigger than Cheech and bigger than Chong, like four full stacks of zigzags to roll like an ounce into a joint. So then it became fatty.
like with Neil and I, like the.
So it
the
is
carrot.
fat. It is after
Have you
fat.
seen With Neil and I? It's a great British movie. With Neil
Oh,
and I, like this guy makes a carrot out of like it's just like 90 different 90 papers, and it's like this like thing that's like a trumpet. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd make burning bushes where you had like a trunk with like 6 or 8 different, but it's all one big rolled joint type of thing. Stick that thing in the top of the hookah, right?
That's
And
insane.
get a 6-pack of dudes, soak it, and just like, it's the burning bush, type of thing, and like, anything ironic, you could do to incorporate religion into getting high.
All right, guys. Well, good night. I'm gonna see
All
you
right.
on that movie.
All right,
I'll see you
on the
guys.
Discord. Take care, everybody.
For sure.
That's it for us today, and we'll be back
Thanks for
tomorrow.
having me up,
same
Jeff.
time. Yeah, thanks for coming on. I do appreciate
sure.
your story.
Kick ass, stay positive, be nice.
Hail
Hail Satan.
Well, hail Satan. I don't know if we're that kind of channel. It's anyway, take care, and we'll be back tomorrow, same time. See you then. Well, Frank, just show up on the Discord.